Good evening, Wednesday party people. We've got your weekly dose of women's football news, rumours, transfers, celebrations, and talking points right here. As you can see, we've got a full house this evening, and we can't wait to talk about some breaking news that was announced earlier today as well. But yeah, as you can see, I've got Paul, Matthew, and Kai with me this evening. How are you all? Doing good?
I'm
Very
fine.
good.
I don't know about the other two.
Me and Kai are just silently in therapy right now over very much mine and Paul's topical hashtag of the week. But yeah, fantastic to be here and ready to talk all chaos.
All chaos all the time. Oh, that should be the slogan, shouldn't it? All chaos all the time, and that'll be it. But yes, of course, we've got two Chelsea fans on this evening. Lots of Chelsea things to talk about. But one more thing we need to talk about. Now we'll keep talking about this during the show. You may have seen on socials, everyone watching, that we've got some brand new podcast mugs. If you would be so tempted, there's a little QR code. I think I'm pointing in the right direction. That's where it is on my screen.
No, it's on the side.
Fingers.
There we go.
My camera's flipped. That's right. Here. Yeah. So this QR code will take you to the merch page. If you want to check them out, if you want to buy them, that will be lovely. Everything goes back into the podcast fund so we can keep going and keep making all this content. And there's one for every show. If you are a Graham, you are incredible and you've bought one of each because you are a fan of all of the shows. But yes, of course, they're your favourites there as well. So yeah, check them out if you want to. And speaking of our lovely Graham, 7:10, Graham was in the chat this evening talking to us all about the match that is currently on, which is, it's a very subtle game. Hardly anything's gone on. It's Arsenal 7, Leicester City 0 currently. And it's just, we were talking about this before we came live, and it's just Leicester just look lost, don't they? They've got.
I fear for them, genuinely.
I really fear because we all.
They've had the slight bad luck that they've run into an Arsenal who now know that if they win 2 games, they will guarantee Champions League qualification, most likely. And if Chelsea get a equal or better result than Manchester United this weekend, they will also do so. So Manchester United, we'll talk about them a little later on.
Not that he's looking forward to it, ladies and gentlemen, but
yeah, I think Leicester have run into a very motivated Arsenal. You've got a very motivated Arsenal and demoralised Leicester.
Not a good combination.
Who, unfortunately, if they had lost tonight, then 7-0 is toughest lead in football. But assuming they do lose tonight, that means Leicester are what would in a normal season be relegated, but this season is the WSL team in the playoff.
Still a slight chance of redemption. However, as we're going to see in a bit, these WSL2 sides do not look like they're going to give away that chance very easily, will they? But yes, evening to Chris, evening to Graham, evening to everyone talking in the chat. Thank you. Another huge talking point, of course, Arsenal getting away a better goal difference as well. Because if we look currently at the table, Arsenal's goal difference is 33, City's is 39. So they're not that far behind with a couple of games there. And unfortunately, Chelsea, goal difference of 21. Just a mere 21.
You never know, though, because obviously, as it is, Arsenal do go third, but they still have obviously 2 games at hand. But those are against Brighton and Villa, and Brighton, as we saw this weekend, can definitely pull it off. And you never know, Frey might have a word with her lot from Villa. You never know. They did.
Villa did it end of last season, didn't they? They did 5-2. And hey,
but as for Leicester, I don't know what's gone on with them. When they've got, I feel sorry for Liv Clark in goal because, obviously me and Paul know Liv obviously from her time at Coventry United, and she's a fantastic player. She's such a down-to-earth person, and she doesn't really deserve that because she is actually a very good goalkeeper, of course, Welsh international at the Women's Euros. But yeah, it's just when you can be the best goalkeeper in the world, But if you've got a defence that no organisational communication, there's not much you can do. But this season for Leicester, it's not been great. And what's it about teams Midlands this season conceding 7? Sorry, Freya, about Villa.
Hold on, did you just say Birmingham was in the East?
No, I said team from the Midlands.
Oh, from the Midlands. I thought you said from the East Midlands. I was going to say, did you?
Yeah, I heard
East
as well. Yeah.
I know my roots, Paul. Don't worry.
I was going to say, hold on. You were commenting. You know where Birmingham is.
Yeah, I know that. I'm going to Leicester on Sunday, so.
Yeah, watch us suffer to score a goal. It's going to happen, Matthew. Suddenly, Leicester will become a super team, incredible defense, brick wall, in goal. Yeah, it's just gonna happen. You can see it coming.
You've gone past 5-4-1 defensive.
I'll probably see it.
Play on the break.
Turning into Alexia Putellas or Claudia Pina combined.
Is it Alicia Lehmann hat trick?
Oh no,
incoming. But no, I mean it would be. It's hard, and we laugh. And if there are Leicester fans in the chat, we do apologise. Because it is so emotionally hard to watch your team just get completely pummeled each week. I've been there as a Villa fan. It's horrible. And you've just got to keep that belief that one day something is going to change. But unfortunately for Leicester, it's the end of the season. There's no time left, is there, to try and bring it back?
With Coventry United, I had to commentate on 4 or 5 nils in that horrific season where Coventry United were relegated and then stolen. So they were 4-0. I remember the game against Sunderland where they were 4-0 down at half time. And I was like, nobody's watching. I'm really glad that for whatever reason the tech didn't work that day. So I've gone along anyway to do the post-match interviews, and it was 3-0 after 15 minutes. Which, yeah. So, and then it just got worse.
Yeah, because this game was 4-0 at half-time, wasn't it? And I was reading the BBC text coming up, and it was Leicester will be pleased that this half is over and will be pleased to get off the pitch. And it's just like, yeah, it's got to be so, again, like we said, mentally challenging.
I mean, I think Graham's right. I think the ownership have given up on the women's team. I think we will see Leicester potentially do a Reading. I hope not, but
yeah, because we spoke last week, didn't we, about like your Reddens, your Blackburn Rovers, your Donny Bells, even, you know, where kind of this decline of these teams that have just been forgotten about because the backing from the men's club is no longer there, and they don't have the infrastructure to support themselves as more of an independent, which sucks as well. So yeah, nearly it's just a complete demolition, isn't it? So 79 minutes. If you see me looking over here, this is my second screen for this evening, keeping you up to date on all of the latest news. But yes, so as it stands in the Women's Super League, or the BWSL, as all the commentators were calling it this weekend, still City on 49 points, Chelsea on 43, Arsenal 41, Man United 39. So still incredibly tight for those top few spots. But Arsenal, of course, as we mentioned, do still have 2 games in hand. I did see someone, though, say it just shows scheduling, because it shouldn't get to this point in the season where a team has so many games in hand. But I suppose if it's things like weather, you can't really plan for that, can you, for the rescheduling? So they've tried to make it work as much as possible. Right then. So what we're going to do this evening then, we're going to have our latest news, as per usual. Got lots of personnel changes starting to be announced in clubs. We're going to talk a bit about Champions League, then the WSL, then WSL2, and then we're going to finish off with, it was the final day of the FA Women's National League as well, tiers 3 and 4. So we'll have a little look at who will be joining WSL2 next season. And, of course, the teams who got relegated as well. If there's any Gwali United fans in the chat, you'd feel very hard done by indeed. Right then. So as we said, Arsenal are currently playing 81 minutes, 7-0, just casual 7-0. And like we said, so let's start with some player departures. Gonna quickly talk about Spurs. Spurs became, do we remember, I can't remember if it was last season or the season before, Real Madrid were affectionately nicknamed Gracias FC because it seemed like every 10 minutes they were thanking another player as they left. And Spurs felt a bit like that today because they announced 4 players at the same time are leaving the club. We've got Amy James Turner, Luana Bula, Charlie Grant, and Josephine Rybbrink as well. Now, for various reasons, injuries and just not fitting into the team since they joined, essentially, all 4 have announced they are departing. Any shocks there for anyone? I don't think so. Maybe just kind of with playing time and.
Yeah, I think very much all those players, like, they're on the fringe, but obviously Spurs have brought in some fantastic players this season, the likes of Holt, Galpset, of course, and Hamano on loan from Chelsea. Like, I think very much Spurs are on the up, which we'll probably talk about later in the show. But yeah, unsurprising, those players leaving Spurs. Possibly Grant, maybe. I would like to see her possibly getting more of a chance. Possibly they brought in the likes of Holt and Galpset, but I still think she's a player that can definitely thrive. Maybe at a WSL 2 club next season, possibly. Maybe.
Interesting. Okay. Because and I know there'll be other things in play, but I don't know if anyone saw. Amy James Turner had posted quite a poignant message about her fertility journey recently as well with her wife. So we just want to send our love for that as well, because we know how hard it is going through that journey.
It's been a week for women being open and vulnerable about that, because Missy Kearns did an interview about
she did
her and her partners, which was an incredibly brave interview to do. After what's happened to her recently.
Because it's still a bit taboo talking about loss and hardship, and it shouldn't be, because they're real stories and real people's journeys. So if anyone is affected by these topics, I did post a little bit on for the Samaritans, loads of help there and support, because I think as well with these issues, so many people have been affected by them and you don't realise because no one talks. And I think some outlets as well maybe shared a lot kind of very openly without any warnings and that kind of thing. So hopefully this was okay for everyone in the chat. And of course, signposts to support and charities are there as well if you have.
And I do think as well it's important, because it's very much, we hear a bit about men's reaction to such things, but we don't, men cannot understand what that feels like, obviously. And, for Missy Kearns to talk about that, and for her partner, Liam Walsh, former Coventry City player Liam Walsh, briefly, to be incredibly supportive about it while going through his own presuming problem with it, and all his own grief and whatever else as a father. But just the fact that it's putting a spotlight on women and mothers and issues, and explaining them issues that don't get talked about enough. And a lot of football fans, certainly male football fans, may not understand, just because it's something we'll never have to experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's, I think, very much, if it's not something you talk about, you just don't realise how common it is. So yeah, incredibly brave of Missy Paul to do that. And she did thank the Villa doctor, actually, because she was like, I didn't realise, because she wouldn't, that the temperature was actually sepsis, and it could have gone horribly wrong.
And it could have gone far worse for her personally as well, because it's like when you talk about it, it sounds like, but it's talked about how, when you actually think about what it is, that's one of the most dangerous things
incredibly
that
dangerous
a woman can do, because of how many ways it can go wrong.
Yeah. So again, spreading spreading that message and just being able to talk to someone and be able to just get that support and make it less taboo and more familiar, shall we say. Right then. So yes, we are sending our love to Missy Bilkins and her partner Liam as well. Now then, with 2 Chelsea fans on the show this evening, shall we talk about the breaking news that came today? It's the fact that Millie Bright has officially announced her retirement, effective immediately from football. Kai, I'm going to come to you first, because after she announced her retirement from international football, usually these announcements are quite close behind, aren't they? So did you expect it this soon, or did you think maybe there was another season in Millie, really? Or do you think this is the right time? What do you think?
I mean, I think she's the only one who can know whether she has another season in her. But looking at it from the outside, I definitely felt like she had a couple of good seasons of football left in her. Maybe not necessarily at Chelsea, because I think Chelsea, it was pretty clear around December that Chelsea are ready to move on from Millie Bright. With a lot of the changes as well, Paul Green leaving, etc. So I think as a Chelsea fan, it's really touching and flattering to hear that she doesn't want to wear another shirt. I think that is, a lot has been said and a lot of questions have been asked about her loyalty to the club and to her fellow players and things like that. And I feel like that says a lot about the person that she is. But then, I think she said it right. She said she's been playing with injury for 6 years, and that's a long time. And I think it's very specifically that injury where she pushed herself to go to the World Cup in 23, probably the one that really set her back. I think, she, the kind of career she's had, it's really good to see that she gets to end on her own terms as well. It's really important. Not every footballer gets to do that. So I'm really happy for her, and I know a lot has happened in the last 6 or 7 months. Things that have really frustrated me as a fan, especially when she's the club captain. But I was like, obviously we were all waiting for this message to come, right? I was under the impression that she would move to a different club. So, and when I saw the news drop, I opened the video and I was not feeling anything. And then I actually watched the video. And then I got really emotional seeing how emotional she got. And then, of course, they post that montage of, she's been at the club. And I think Emma Hayes posted saying that she is Chelsea. And that's absolutely true. Most fans don't know a Chelsea without Millie Bright. So, yeah.
Yeah, because it's been over a decade, hasn't it? Was it 2015?
2014. December 2014 that she signed with Donny Bells.
I was going to say, because Matt, for you, of course, as well, talking about servants to the club, and like Kai said there, Emma here said, Millie is Chelsea. For people who may not know just how much of an impact she has had, what would you like to say about Millie leaving Chelsea after all this time?
Well, I absolutely agree with what Kai said. Obviously, when you announce your retirement from inside football, you obviously think that it's not going to be too far away. And I did, though, agree with Kai saying that I would have thought there's possibly 1 or 2 more years, possibly Mills. But even though we all knew this was going to happen, it still really hurts a lot. Seeing Mills go. Of course, she signed from Doncaster Rovers Bells back in 2014 when she was just 21 years old. She was made captain back in September 2023 after the departure of Magdalena Eriksson. I've got little notes here of all her career stats. I've written them all down. She made a total of 294 appearances in all competitions, scoring 17 goals. She won 8 WSL League titles, 6 FA Cups, 6 Women's FA Cups, 4 Women's League Cups, and the FA Community Shield in 2020, which I believe she scored in.
Yeah, she scored that banger. She scored. It was so far. It was a tiny
If Danny was
beat.
here, I'd have an argument. If Danny said that was not a friendly beat, I would have an argument with him right now. But of course, she also featured in the FA WSL PFA Team of the Year 4 times as a player. Also appeared in the FIFA Pro Women's World 11 twice. And of course, internationally, earned 88 England caps for England, won the Euros back in 2022, and became only the second player ever to lead England in a World Cup final and the first woman to do so. Also, remember, she won the Arnold Clark Cup twice and was the Golden Boot winner in 2022.
Yes.
I remember that.
Shared with Alexia Putellas.
She was also awarded an OBE in 2024 in the New Year's Honours List for services to football, so showing she's successful on and off the pitch. She also became the first person to be awarded the Freedom of Derbyshire in July 2024 and was given 2 honorary doctorates from both the University of Derby and the University of Sheffield. So very much, I think for me, Mills is just one of those people you just love to have in your team, someone who can just back you up 100%. And very much she was the reason why I started exploring this massive world of women's football. And I just love her so much. And I have met her once, I think was it years ago when Chelsea were playing a away game at Birmingham. I actually got a photo with her and she was so down to earth, so lovely. So yeah, message to Mills, thank you for the memories, thank you for all the amazing times. And to quote the song, when you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle, and this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the bright side of life.
Oh, I love that bit. I really, really do. I never knew those were the words. Chew on the gristle of life. That's
when you're chewing on life's gristle.
Chewing on life's gristle. I mean, that's quite. Yeah, you can feel that, can't you? That's it.
Have you not seen the Life of Brian, Frey? You've not seen it?
It's very onomatopoeic. You know what? It's one of those ones where I have, but I've never really thought about it. Until you said it, that's like the gristle of life. But hey, she was the soul, if you like, of the team for a very long time, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Being in that leader role, and not too shabby indeed for a career. Did you say 294 appearances?
Yes. Across all competitions.
If only she'd got another 6.
I know.
On a nice round 300.
She did become the WSL's all-leading appearance maker. And I remember actually me and Paul saying this a few years ago. One thing they need to do at Chelsea is have her on the shed wall. Like, obviously, they had an announcement back 2 years ago, I think, where it had Emma Hayes on the shed wall. And me and Paul saying, like, a couple of years ago, we used to do a show together, that I think about a couple of Chelsea players who else should be on the shed wall, and the first person I always thought of was Mills.
Yeah.
Like, Mills on the shed.
See, to anyone who doesn't know what that means, tell her, saying put her on the shed. It doesn't sound quite as iconic, does it?
It refers to the shed end, obviously the south stand, known obviously of Stamford Bridge, known as the shed, where very much half the side is for Chelsea and half the side mostly is used by away fans. But very much, obviously, you had the shed and the Matthew Harding. And for me, I've always said the Matthew Harding, but I also love seeing in the shed is you have those proper Chelsea fans. And for me, Millie Bright will always, even though she was born in Yorkshire, made in Yorkshire, she will always be proper Chelsea.
Yes. Coming to an end of an era.
Fact about the shed end, it is the only stand in British football that has a former player buried in front of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Believe it or not. Well, does it have 2 now? Because I'm sure
Well, I know Osgood definitely did.
Because Peter Osgood is on the penalty spot.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to remember whether Peter Bonetti was on the goal line or not as well.
I think he might have been. I very vaguely remember he might have been.
But Peter Osgood is definitely at the under the penalty spot.
Osgood.
And also, Peter Osgood, one of the most confusing banners I've ever seen until I found out what it was, because the shed wall that Matt's talking about, if you watch Chelsea games, they have banners hanging off the shed, and they're very, they're very. Some of them are very if you know, because they're all references to former players,
Right.
and not just like current players or the last few. I think, legends. I think Ray Wilkins is up there. Peter Osgood is up there, and I think it's Peter Osgood who just has. He doesn't actually have his name up there. There's just a banner that says "Born is the King" on it, and that's apparently for him.
Yeah. Also, you got players. Also, you have players at Aussie, as Paul said, Osgood. You got Benetti, Paul Cannaville, the first black player just played for Chelsea. I believe also Tim Rice is there, who I believe is Declan Rice's dad or uncle or something. But yeah, obviously Ray is there. So very much, you probably might think that Chelsea were fully formed in 2004. We were, lads. We obviously very much have our memories, albeit from the 70s.
And it is nice, and this is they eventually put Emma Hayes up there, and there's very much, if they're going to do the one club thing, the conversation Matt and I were having were basically, you've got to put representatives of the women's team up there, and if you could only pick one, it would probably be Millie Bright.
No,
obviously as the all-time record holder.
What she's done. It is officially full time at the Emirates. Also, as you can imagine, are very, very happy that Leicester are very happy that's over. You see them Zoom what right now. However, it has officially confirmed Leicester are finishing in that relegation / playoff place with 9 points after 20 games. Arsenal move up into third on 41 points, only 2 behind Chelsea. So
that will give, with the final day of the championship this weekend, that will give whoever ends up playing Leicester 2 weeks worth of scouting.
Any of the top 3, yep.
Any of the top 3 will have 2 weeks worth of scouting, at least, because they'll have 2 live games.
Yep.
For that relegation playoff, remember actually researching about it. Obviously, as it stands, it's currently Palace, I believe, in third place.
Yes.
Yes.
But obviously, I remember being this relegation playoff. Is it actually going to be at King Power, or is it going to be at the team of Duracell 2?
Sellers Park.
Duracell 2, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, for Palace fans, I've cursed it now because I just said Sellers Park, and that's where it's going to be. It could obviously be at the Valley or St Andrews as well, but
well,
it will be at the WSL.
Whoever that third place is, they get home advantage. Yes.
Yeah.
We won't jinx it. We won't jinx it for anyone. But yeah, so that was the announcement then that Millie Bright is retiring effective immediately. But she is still carrying on her work with the Chelsea Foundation, isn't she?
Yes.
And she's also carrying on with the club
as an ambassador.
As the ambassador, yes, that's it. Thank you very much.
I hope she does a better job than John Terry, given the recent way. Yeah,
it's not hard, is it?
The way John Terry has basically turned into every unfair stereotype of what people have about Chelsea fans recently, and it's kind of,
So James in the chat. Hi, James. James is a Leicester City fan. James, I'm so sorry. James, with your thoughts though, tell us why. Like, what is it for you as a fan? Because obviously we've got our opinions as outsiders. But yeah, James, tell us what you think has gone wrong this season. Because they just look defeated, don't they? Already. I
mean, okay. I have heard rumbles that within the squad there were players who were like, almost from the start of the season, like, this is going to be a long season.
No, I genuinely think sacking Amandine Mikel
was a stupid idea.
Was so stupid, and I think it just kind of spiraled from there, didn't it?
With her, at least they could be defensively organized. I know it kind of it just came off the rails towards the end of the last season, but she showed that she could make that team defend well. And right now, the problem for Leicester is they're not doing anything properly.
Basically.
Pretty much. And it's just
at least under Mikel, they had some kind of structure, some organization, communication within the team. Under Passmore, they just seem to ignore each other as even there. Like, they brought in the likes of Ash Neville in January, who's supposed to be this massively well-experienced defender, and she very much, for me, just looks like a deer in headlights every time she plays for Leicester. which is harsh because Ashley Neville is a fantastic player, massively experienced, definitely an icon of the women's game and WSL, but it just seems as though quoting, what was it? What's the quote? She feels like for me that she's in the spiraling of possibly, I wouldn't be surprised if Ashley Neville maybe retires at the end of the season.
Oh, okay. So
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, lead the football before football leaves you.
Harsh, but fair, potentially.
I was going to say 1 season at Leicester and just like, nah, done.
Half a season, 3 months, and just no. The scary thing is Leicester set up defensively. They set up in a 5-4-1, and it's like
I think it just needed to be a 10 at the back. That's it. Don't even. Your attacking prowess is non-existent pretty much at the minute. So just get everyone back and don't let Arsenal have an inch.
All they have to do is just, when in doubt, who for up Sam O'Brien, just hope for the best.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which they did at the weekend, and we're going to talk about it first. And then London City.
Just to get them out the way, because it feels like kicking a puppy at this point.
It does. I know, and I'm so sorry, Leicester. Right then, we've had another announcement of a departure. WLC Man United let us know that Leah Galton is going to leave after 8 years playing on the red side of Manchester. She was one of the last remaining originals alongside Millie Turner and Ella Toon. And it's been her back, hasn't it? That's kept her out for quite a large part of the season. So can we see, because she's quite she's made it quite well known that she quite likes being at home with family and having that around her. Do we think she would still sign for another WSL side, or would she go to somewhere still fairly local? Because you've got Burnley we're going to talk about. They've just come up into the WSL too. Could she do a good job in the WSL too if there's an injury that persists? Don't know if anyone's got any opinions.
She's far too good for the WSL too still.
Well, that's what I was thinking as well. Yeah, I was just thinking about injury. Yeah, I
think WSL, she's still got that quality, still got that mentality. Imagine though she joins Liverpool.
But yeah, there are 6 or 7 teams in the WSL, many of whom who are nearby, who would absolutely snap the hand off to have a player like Leah Galton just in their squad.
Yes.
Even an 80% Leah Galton who can only play as a squad player. If that's the expectation when you sign her, or
I suppose, yeah.
You say to her, right, Leah, you're traveling a bit further, so we won't expect you to play either every game or, we won't expect you to be a key player. And she could do a job at Man City in that fashion. As mentality wise, she could certainly do a job at Liverpool.
Yes.
And I think from a perspective of watching Coventry men's team as well, Frank Lampard has spoken a lot about players in the team who've barely played on the pitch, like Jamie Allen, like Ben Wilson, the backup goalie, like Jake Bidwell, who haven't played but have been so important in driving standards and the mentality and holding the dressing room together because of their experience, because of their whatever. Leah Galton could absolutely play that role.
Yeah.
If she looks at it and goes, I'm maybe not an every week player at the moment because my body's letting me down or whatever, but
let me show you what I can do. Yeah.
The value that she'd have to a team is huge.
No, 100%. I agree. Yeah. So watch this space. I'll have to start getting my transfer tracker out again. I thought it was a bit early, but hey, never too early for this.
I mean, she could even do a job in a dressing room like Chelsea's.
Okay.
I wouldn't say no. Leah Galton.
Yeah.
We are looking for kind of someone. I'm not sure if Kai agrees, but possibly someone down the right, because I think I've noticed at Chelsea, like we have obviously the brilliant Yo-Yo Hannah meeting Canarid, but I think we need possibly more strength down that right-hand side, possibly. I'm not sure if you agree, Kai, or...
Do we really need another left winger playing on the right wing?
Oh,
Is my
depends.
question. But also, I felt this. I said this on the channel when Chelsea, the rumors to Bunny Shaw, links to Bunny Shaw came up. I just really worry that Chelsea struggle to keep anybody fit, and somebody like a Leah Galton should go to a place where they can keep her fit at the very least.
Oh, that's a fair point. Yeah. No, you're right.
Because for some reason, especially in the last year and a half, my faith in the medical team has just completely disappeared. And I think she should go to a place where she's kept fit and hopefully get a little bit of playing time as well. The thing about Leah Galton for me is the last game I can remember her playing is that FA Cup final. Ever since she had that injury, I don't think she's had like a good stint of the FA Cup final that they won. That's 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah, the one against Spurs, yeah.
Yeah, where she picked up an injury on the day as well. And since then, she's come on. She started maybe 1 or 2 games here and there. So I really don't know what level she's at. Like she's got an amazing left foot. Like we know that she is an incredible player. But right now, I do not know her level because I've just not seen her play enough. Yeah, and like Skinner's done stuff like I remember in a Champions League group stage game where he sort of threw her in at like left wing back or left back because I don't know during substitutions, So yeah, I'm not really sure about what level she's at, but hopefully wherever she goes, she gets fit and then she gets to play a good chunk of games and get back to it,
Yeah. And even, I know I keep mentioning WSL2, but even if it's a club like a WSL2 side club, just to get a rhythm back and then just to have 6 months or whatever, even on a temporary signs, I don't know. But yeah, whatever's right for her to get.
I feel like Leah Galton would be great in a team that's coming up to the WSL.
Yeah.
Those teams always look for players who have experience in the league. And I feel like that's a role she can do extremely well because she is a leader. She's somebody who's vocal.
I can see Birmingham investing.
Yeah.
Making that commitment. Yeah.
Graham, what do you think? Graham? Do you take Leah
Galton
at Charlton?
Yeah, Graham, would you like to see
the obvious thing would be it's the opposite end of the country. Well, it's not the opposite end of the country, but it's several hours away, and it would probably have to be a case of, almost Charlton would say, right, okay, you train with us 1 day a week. If it's one of those.
You do your training, but come and join the team, like a part-time-ish type.
Because I think, as Kai says, with the leadership and everything, I think a player like Leah Galton is worth making that adjustment and that sacrifice for the team coming up to the WSL.
Yes. Yeah. Plus, if you, obviously, as you should, trust your players to do the work, she can still do the work near home and then. So yeah, maybe possibilities. Graham says, I'd never say no to an experienced WSL player, but I don't see her moving south. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, mate. So yeah, as we said, watch this space. Speaking of United, they also made the news this week. Paul is grinning already, knowing where this is going to go. Because Megan Feringa, who we all know as an incredible journalist, tweeted after the weekend that The Athletic were told by United's press officer that they weren't allowed to ask any questions to Skinner after the overly negative story that followed their Champions League exit. Now, reading the article, and many of the people have read the article and said, it was quite fair and it was quite balanced, to be honest. Yes, it highlighted the negatives. Also said, first time in their history they got to the knockouts. They have done well, considering. Since Catherine Batt has also published an article titled "Women's Sports Should Embrace Criticism, Not Shut It Down." Paul, what do you think? Is there a benefit for anyone by limiting journalists to what they can ask? Because surely that's just now put the club in an even worse light, that they're not allowing journalists to do their job. What do you think?
I think it's spectacularly idiotic, and
Spectacularly, yeah.
like it's not so much taking a it's not so much taking a shotgun to shoot yourself in the foot. It's aiming an anti-aircraft gun at your foot, like because obviously we've seen it happen with teams in the past. Have done it. Man United famously did it with several journalists. Alex Ferguson did it. We know Liverpool just do not allow a certain paper into their media and haven't for 20 odd years. But in Liverpool's case, that's actually justified. Because Liverpool as a city don't buy said paper after, and a lot of football fans will refuse to buy it, obviously, because of the way the Sun treated the city of Liverpool after Hillsborough.
Yes.
And as far as I'm aware, unless I've really misread some of the stories, I don't think the Athletic has made light and torn apart a club and a city for their reactions to a tragedy and tried to claim they're responsible for one of the worst tragedies in football. So I don't think it's not like the Athletic have got put coded messages into their articles saying that actually Man United fans were responsible for Munich or something. Like,
no, definitely not.
And again, it's Megan Feringa. It's one of the best women's football journalists, I would argue, not just in Britain, but in the world at this point.
It's not just some random turning up, demanding and asking these.
The team of athletic journalists that are turning up who cover women's football are incredible writers. And again, as everyone has pointed out, who's read Megan's article, they've gone, the only way you could see this as overly negative is if you're looking to see it as overly negative or you have an incredible thin skin.
Yes.
It's just an absolute PR disaster. And I think that it is another example of Man United as a club thinking they're bigger than they are. And I think that they are getting off more lightly, and I don't know what our two Chelsea fans think, but obviously Chelsea ownership has been placed very much in the spotlight recently and has taken a lot of criticism in the media.
Rightly so.
And, rightly so. They haven't dared to do it. And because they're aware that if they turn around to that and say, right, we're not letting in certain media outlets, they get torn to shreds. So it just seems. I do think there is a deeper issue behind this that has caused it, but that is a bit more of a ramble. And if I start talking about that now, Kai and Matt will never get a chance to say anything about it. So I will leave that for a little while, and let Kai and Matt, what do you think about it as neutrals who don't have the bias against Manchester United that I get accused of?
Well, I, like Paul, I'm not a big fan of Manchester United, either men's or women's. But I do agree with Paul that you have to very much. It doesn't matter what kind of life you're living in. It doesn't matter whether you're working in football or any other type of sport. You've got to take criticism. And just not letting, because everyone's going to have their opinions of what team is good at, what teams can possibly improve on. It's like with managers, like a manager might say to a footballer, yes, you did fantastic during a game, but then during the game, you possibly could do better on this or that. I'd say if you're a coach or stuff like that. But I just feel that Mark Skinner is just a sore loser. Like, he feels like, when you got that kid at school who basically puts in, say, a homework assignment and who sees it back, and that teacher can't give the student any criticism and has had to give them A's or B's, even though to be honest, their work is more like a C or a D grade, because they can't give them no criticism, otherwise they'll go straight to the governors because the student's parent is one of the governors. So it just feels to me like that. Like
Sounds a bit like you calling him Draco Malfoy, to be honest.
yeah. Well, to be fair, Draco Malfoy would wear a turtleneck.
That's a very good point. Yes. I was going to say, that doesn't sound anything like my school, which was a Catholic all-girls school with nuns. They would never do that.
You were still getting stuff thrown at you, weren't you? You were like...
You joke, but yeah. But yeah, it's one of those where, and Kai, I don't know if you had anything to add, but it was just one of those where you're like, really? In a press conference where you're lucky to get more than one journalist because there are so many people fighting to get accreditation. And again, there's not enough journalists really to go around all the clubs on match days and stuff. So you've actually got journalists who want to talk to you and want to find out more about things. And you're saying, oh, wait.
It's so stupid because you know the moment you say that, she's just going to turn around and tweet about it. You just know it, right?
Like she's not going to do that herself. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so confused by this. I went back and read the article, and obviously it's not overly negative. Now the thing is, this maybe adds to Matthew's point and the point that you were making, Freya, but like on the Athletic, if I'm not mistaken, earlier in the season, there were a couple of pieces at least on Manchester United, but speaking about the ownership and Ineos, and then Mark Skinner is sort of portrayed as this guy who's just taking a bullet. He's just taking one for the team. He's the face of it for the women's team, and he is sitting there supporting the ownership. And he says, we need money, but you know what? They stand behind us. We believe that things are going to get better for the women's side of the team. The moment an article comes out where Mark Skinner's tactics and his abilities as a manager is directly questioned, suddenly that becomes an overly negative piece. You know what I'm saying? So this is something that's clearly come from him not being able to take criticism. So that's like one thing. If you compare the 2 or 3 articles that have come out, there have been worse articles written like maybe 8 months ago than the one that was written after the Champions League exit, for sure. The other thing is, and this is, I'm just borrowing from Ash because we discussed this on the channel yesterday in the episode that we did put out. It's about journalism in general, right? She said that, you look at journalism, whether it is politics, whether it's sport, you want like fluff pieces. You want, roll the dice that the players do, with Sky Sports. You want content like that, but not actually, you don't want to be held accountable by the media, which is what the media is supposed to do. So that is like this transformation that we see with journalism across the board. And this is just a sort of a reflection of that in women's football. And honestly, we'd be smart to kind of root it out if possible. Because, listen, like a few years before, the Manchester United press officer would die to have a journalist ask the manager a question in a press conference. And now you have like 10 of them who turn up, for example. So like, don't take that for granted. Don't take I mean, honestly, a very real chance that, for example, like I said this again in the episode, these are colleagues, these people spend more time with each other than they do at the office, right? They could all walk out of the press conference. Like, they could have walked out of the press conference and it would have made them look like incredibly silly, because there is power. There's power there. You cannot pull a stunt like that because there is a lot of power in the media and they can use it in ways when freedom of speech is being cut out. It's just, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
I think it's very, very notable, and we need to praise Catherine Batt's article that, for want of a better word, a competing media outlet for the Athletic, because you said, as Corey said, they're all work colleagues and they spend time with each other, but they're all working for different outlets and they all want people to read their coverage. So, cynically, if the Athletic aren't allowed to cover Manchester United, then other journalists are like, well, that means more people are going to come and read our stuff. But the fact that, and you see this more in women's football, I think, than the men's game, the fact that competing articles and Catherine Batt's writing an article going, hold on a minute, this affects all of us. This is stupid. This is, and is calling it out.
It's very much, is this the way that we want the women's game to grow? Because obviously it can't if it's been censored and it's been, and we've had enough of being censored in bloody women's football.
Now I can, the second part that I was going to discuss, because I've seen people talking about it, and I think, I can perhaps provide a slightly different perspective on it as someone who's worked covering teams and had issues in the past with teams similar to what the Athletic are having.
Okay.
With the ice hockey team, the Coventry Braves. And basically the issue that I had with that, and indeed with Chelsea, because when I was doing WSL coverage and I was commentating on a Chelsea game, apparently people within the club claimed that my coverage, they didn't like my coverage because it was biased against Chelsea. This was for a Chelsea versus Brighton game where Chelsea won something like 3 or 4-1.
Wow. Okay.
But apparently there was criticism that I was more excited about Paulina Bremer's goal for Brighton early on than I was about any of the Chelsea goals.
Was this the game where Nuskin scored a hat-trick?
This was the game Nuskin scored a hat-trick, and I sang
I remember the Bremer goal.
Her praises very, very loudly on commentary. Yeah. I mean, that clip is still, the clip's probably still up on YouTube somewhere, and my voice is probably still on it. So, if people are really desperate, they can go and judge. But yeah, apparently some of that people were Chelsea claiming that I was unfair to them. And when I was covering the ice hockey team as well, people have said, oh, I was unfair covering them, even though I was working for them, so I should have only said nice things, as opposed to admit that they were crap.
That's not how the world works. No, you're going to see it as it is. Yeah.
And I think there's a naivety in women's football, because I think for a lot of the time, women's football, and we've spoken about this, hasn't been covered seriously. And when I say seriously, I mean with the same intensity and forensicness as men's football.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
We've talked about all the content is about vibes, and it's about look at this amazing thing and all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's why Love Hoodie sponsored them now. Good vibes only and all that. But
this feedback of that thing was it when was it? A couple of months ago in the poll, was it you, Freya, did it that put into ChatGPT, did that kind of like thing where you just kind of more rebranded the pod or something?
Oh yeah, like Mean Girls.
Yes.
Yeah. And we saw it with things like Sky Sports Halo.
Oh,
that was the kind of,
that was like a fever dream. Like that shouldn't have ever existed, and yet it did.
No, but that was built. That didn't happen in isolation. That happened because Sky Sports looked at the kind of content that was getting views and being popular, and certain podcasts and the tone of it, and went, "Oh, that's the vibe we want," and they completely messed it up.
Yeah, that's what people respond to. Yeah. Well, we still see it with certain content creators and stuff as well, don't we? It's a certain type of content that clubs are now leaning into, and if you don't fit that mold, it is kind of excluding. And I don't know if anyone else has found that, but it's like that's not representing the club; it's representing a very, very small minority of.
And I think the thing that we pride ourselves on is, we rip into teams. And We joke
Well,
about
we
it.
tell it like it is. That's what we do.
We joke about it, but there's a reason we do that. And the likes of Megan Feringa, the journalists. There are journalists who are basically what one in politics are referred to as client journalists, who trade stories for access. Like, behind the scenes, they get told, if you are positive towards this club, you'll get scoops. They get fed stories. To use a Chelsea player, we saw a certain national journalist write a hit piece on Hannah Hampton. Now, that was fed. And that was fed to one journalist in particular. And the way that works is that journalist is probably told, if you write this story, you get an exclusive interview with X player. You get access to this ahead of your competitors. And that's how it works. And that has been the economy in women's football. And that is how journalism works. But now we have, because of stuff like The Athletic, and because of the efforts of, the journalists who we keep praising to the skies all the time, your Megan Feringas, your Charlotte Harpers, Tom Garys,
Chloe,
all of Chloe, of
Do love
course,
Chloe
as well. But all of those sorts of journalists are being The Athletic, to give credit to them, are clearly saying to the likes of Megan, yeah, you write this. If we have a press officer go, you're a bit harsh on us, sod it. We're not scared. And what has happened here is Manchester United are openly trying to push back against this more accountability-based forensic coverage, which is what we as fans are screaming out for. Man United fans have been screaming out for a story like that to be written, and their owners and whatever to be called out for ages. Chelsea fans now, no doubt, are at the point where they want a similar thing to be done for Todd Bowley and Clearlake about the women's team, and questions asked over the summer. And it will be interesting to see now, if journalists do it in the light of this, or think, Chelsea have seen what Man United will do the same thing. And if we lose coverage of Chelsea and Manchester United, they won't talk to us. That's a real problem. But the utter naivety of Manchester United, who are trying to control the narrative here and still think we're in the situation where they're dealing with smaller content creators or journalists who are like, oh yeah, we'll roll over and what you like, because we'll get an interview with Ella Toon, or we'll get an interview with Jess Park or whoever.
Yeah, which shouldn't
be the case, but unfortunately is. But credit to Megan, credit to the other journalists who are speaking up and going, hey, women's football, if you want to be a serious sport, we're going to cover you like it. And if you don't like that, then...
Yeah, you need to reassess the priorities of that. I just muted myself a minute there because I was listening to Rick Passmore's post-match. And it was really interesting because we said he seems a bit like, I don't want this to sound horrible, but like a bit soft and like a bit like he's like, oh, well, try the best. And he said there, I missed the first little bit, but he said he thought they played well and looked after the ball in parts. But that there's a lot of deflated bodies out there, and that they need to do a lot of work off the pitch before the weekend to try and come back into it, to try and get that togetherness. He was asked about the playoff, and he said the incredible phrase, "We can control the controllables."
All right, Liam Rossini, LinkedIn manager.
So he talks a lot about.
Rick Passmore is pretty much like, have that teacher. I think we were all saying also before we went live. I was saying that Rick Passmore is that teacher you have at school, where if you're struggling with something, maybe a piece of like work or something, you don't really understand it, and you ask teachers some help, they just come over and do it for you.
In
That
art,
is
if you struggle
Newcastle
to
in a
draw
nutshell.
something, Mace, can you draw this for us? Yeah, right. Yeah, it's
Do you think Leicester is like, obviously they're going into that relegation playoff, and in this weekend they find out who they're going to be going against. Do you think they should just start prepping, like for example, a Palace or a Birmingham City, whoever it is?
Yes.
Do you think
There you go.
do you think they should just start prepping right away?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you think
Yeah,
that's how
see,
they would
yeah.
approach it?
They should
Get in
probably-
that mindset, yeah, because he said, he was like, it's a one-off and we need to get ourselves together and we need to rally round. And I think that's literally it. I think if they can just, because 2 games left of WSL, so if they can just rally themselves to get the confidence in the next couple of games, to get a bit of a rhythm and to get a bit of something, so then when that playoff game happens, they're like, right, we can do it. This is our shot. This is our final chance. But yeah, I'd definitely recommend
Mild
that.
issue with that. Their next game's Chelsea.
Okay, so they can practice their defence. Sorted.
Well, they're gonna have loads of time for that. But I think very much, I think Leicester need to prepare not just for trips, possibly to like to Birmingham or Chelsea, but possibly Durham, Sheffield United, Portsmouth. Oh, not Portsmouth actually, they're going down.
They're
Bristol, Sunderland, Newcastle.
And that's the thing, WSL 2. I know a lot of people, if they don't watch it, they think, oh, it's just a WSL 2. It's a hard league. It's a really hard league.
The thing that really worries me about Leicester, did we see that article that came out late last week where the Portsmouth director of football basically called out the growth of women's football and said, now to be mid-table in the championship, you need a budget of £2 million for a season. And how are teams supposed? You know, we've invested as much as we realistically can as a team, but you know, to be a mid-table championship team now, we're competing against teams who are investing £2.5–3 million a season.
Yeah,
and
that's saying the money that's coming into it now.
Think of you know, if you get up to the WSL, the money is glaring. I mean, again, we'll big up the Sky Blues. They were one of the reasons everybody went so mad over the Sky Blues is because they were promoted from the championship with a budget in the lower third of the league, wage-wise.
Yeah.
Now, in men's football, perhaps that can happen. It happens rarely, but it can happen because, and again, you Chelsea fans will love this, and I am eating humble pie. Frank Lampard has done an incredible job. And he gets it as well. He has embraced being in Coventry, and I have been on the whatever the football version of the road to Damascus is, the road to the Fulham Road. I don't know, but I have been on that with Frank Lampard this season. I've been converted because of the way he talks in general. And in the men's game, it's possible that. In the women's game, if you go up to the WSL with a budget in the bottom third of it, you will finish in the bottom third of it.
Yeah.
That's how it works. If you go into the championship with a budget to the bottom end of it, that's where you'll finish. And I think that we're in a position now where Leicester are not good, like you say. Leicester aren't going to be able to afford to invest the necessary amount in the women's league. Do you guys think they'll be back here, even if they win that playoff? Do you think they'll be back in this position?
I really worry for them, to be honest. Like if they actually manage to win the playoff, which is obviously, I worry what will happen with Leicester. I wouldn't be surprised if they find themselves in the exact same position at the end of the next season.
I doubt they'll
I
win the
don't.
playoff. I doubt they'll win the playoff at all. I think very much. Obviously, it doesn't matter obviously what teams, obviously how well a team plays. Obviously, people might say obviously Leicester have 1 game per season. That's just focus all on that. But when you're consistently losing games as much as Leicester are, then it's sort of going to settle into the mindset of thinking, oh, we're going to lose again. You've always stuck in that mentality. And people might say, "Oh, football is a physical sport." It is, obviously, a lot of it is physical, but a lot of it also is mental. You've got to have that psychological mentality. You've got to make sure you're focused and ready to put everything you can possibly do onto that pitch. And when you've got that mentality of all season, you've been like, we're losing again, we're not going to win, we're just going to drop points, we're going to get ripped apart, ripped to shreds. It's going to be hard for those players to pick themselves up. And normally you would look to maybe an iconic figure or a manager, someone that can definitely install some confidence into these Leicester players. And I just don't see that from Rick Passmore at all.
No.
I mean, it's interesting in the group chat.
James
Everyone's just like, they won't win it.
Playoff. Yeah, not good enough. Yeah, and only score 6 all season. Yeah, it's
only
not
3 goals away from home all season.
Yeah. I mean, talking about the weekend, they actually took the lead against London City.
He did.
Shannon O'Brien scoring.
Pod favourite.
Hey.
Who I believe may be Leicester's top scorer, actually.
Oh.
That's not hard.
No. But
sorry, Leicester.
let me double check through the wonders of stat things.
Yeah,
it's either Shannon O'Brien or Mouchon, I feel so.
I think it must be O'Brien. Mouchon
had
like
O'Brien, right?
I think it's Shan. Yeah.
Shan.
Me calling her Shan like I know her because I've interviewed her.
Graham's put, I'm Leicester's second top scorer.
Yeah, me and Shan, you know. God. Sorry, Shannon. But yes, looking at their stats, Shannon O'Brien is indeed their top WSL scorer. They have scored
confirmed it for you.
9 WSL goals, and Shannon O'Brien has scored half of them.
Perfect.
Only one other player has scored more than 1 goal, and that's Noemi Mouchon.
It's a shame they can't just like duplicate Shannon O'Brien a couple of times and just.
We all dream of a team.
5, all Shannon O'Brien. Try and get some goals back. So yeah, it's been really hard to watch because usually a team like Villa, they'll have a really rough start, but then they'll find their rhythm and then they'll try and come back and do something with it. But yeah, it just hasn't come to plan.
I think if Leicester go down, the carcass will be picked off, and Shannon O'Brien will have several options.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of players in there that won't want to go down to WSL too. Nothing against them, but can still do a good job in the WSL. So yeah, I think again, if you were another mid-table club-ish, looking at actually who could we nick from Leicester,
the best thing Liverpool could do is sign Shannon O'Brien because she will run through walls. She's a red.
I can see
she will run through walls for anyone, but she's a red, and that will be her dream move. You will not get a single more motivated player, and we might finally see her given the opportunity to shine to the point where she can start fulfilling the potential that those of us in Coventry saw in her in 17 and went, she'll play for England.
Yeah. Very much. Hey, like we keep saying, watch the space. And as Jim says, she is the best Leicester player. Yes. Straight from the mouth of a Leicester fan. Right then, last bit, just really quickly, Brighton have confirmed plans for Europe's first purpose-built women's stadium with a 10,000 capacity, which is going to be built on the ground next to the Amex, and there's going to be a little bridge that links the two of them, which looks quite nice on the drawings if people have seen it. They are hoping it's going to be open for the 30-31 season, which sounds like a million years away, but it's only a few, isn't it? Now, we've had a lot of women's teams moving to their main club stadium, but this will be, one of the only ones alongside Man City, of course, play at the Joy Stadium, who have actually got their own purpose-built stadium. That's not the men's stadium, the main stadium. So yeah, do we think this is the right choice? Because I've seen mixed reviews online, of course, as always. People are saying, well, why not just go to the Amex? This is a colossal waste of money. I've seen other people say, but this will give the women's team a proper home, get them out of Crawley. No offense, Crawley, but the stadium's not nice. And actually connect them to that match day experience, that club experience, and actually give them a stadium that is suitable for the women's game at the moment, and also gives them a bit of growing space as well. Has anyone got any quick thoughts?
First thing, it's not the first purpose-built women's stadium in Europe, because Durham announced one in March.
Well, best tell all of their media, because that's what they're saying. Big headlines.
Mark, the Durham media person, who is very hardworking and a lovely person, has indeed made a point of doing so. Because on the 14th of March, on the Durham website, is an article that I am quoting from now, because it said, Durham Women's FC and Durham Cricket are working together to pursue a new state-of-the-art facility dedicated to elite women's football and cricket. And they have proposals to create a women's first high-performance centre, which will be the UK's first new stadium designed around the needs of the female athlete and fans. And that there will be a women's sports hub at the Chester-le-Street Riverside Complex. It'll become a base for Durham women. This is how long ago it was written. Durham were 4th in the championship at the time.
That's a long time ago.
Those are the days.
Because it was this time last year. And then the plan would be to form a link with Durham Cricket and their Tier 1 professional women's team. So it would be a combined cricket pitch and football stadium. There would be a cricket stadium and a football stadium. As a whole complex.
Just love it. Yeah, it's a strange one, because people are saying, well, saying both. It would be a good idea because of that smaller capacity. It can be more intimate. It can be more, the fans can really come together. But on the flip side, it's right next door to the Amex, so why not use the Amex anyway?
Out of curiosity, what is it? Mostly fans of the men's team saying, "Why are we building a stadium for the women? What's the point?"
Seems like it. Yeah.
Funny that.
Yeah. So I don't know why it would be so disparaging about women's sport.
Because I think more teams should do it, because I think women's football is not at the size where club teams can support. Most club teams can support a 35,000 seat stadium.
Yeah. Well, we said, didn't we, the issue would be, I think, with a lot, especially all the London teams, would be space. So is there actually space to build a purpose-built stadium? Would they then have to travel further out, which then takes away that identity of, well, this is like Kingsmeadow, for example. I don't know that I've been once, so you can't expand because it's round houses, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
you can't. I've only been Kingsmeadow once as well. I remember it was the Emma Hayes' final home game in charge. I remember the 8-0 win over Bristol City, where I think Guro scored 4 goals. I was there in the South Stand. I think with Kingsmeadow, as Freya said, it's all round houses, so it's not much space you can really build upon. But obviously, it was announced the news that Chelsea women are playing all their games next season at Stamford Bridge. And I remember talking to a couple of Chelsea fans that I know, including our Rosie, about it. And I was thinking about it, possibly not maybe using Stamford Bridge yet, because it might be a bit too big for it, and possibly using the grounds such as possibly we link with Loftus Road, who's home with QPR, or maybe Wimbledon's ground at Plough Lane, possibly, because they're slightly bigger, but not too big as because the one thing that worries me about next season from a Chelsea fan perspective, I'm not sure if Kai agrees with this or not, but obviously having these big stadiums, obviously having the teams is fantastic for the growth of the game, but I'm just worried that I still want to be like Leicester where you just have one stand open and you just hardly any full, or possibly like with Beer where so just one stand, there's hardly not many people are there. That's my only concern.
Yeah, I think that's a concern that even I have, but I've kind of made my peace with it now. I feel like maybe it's going to take us 5 years, 7 years, 10 years to get there, but you have to start somewhere. Like, for example, I personally feel like it's better than like leasing like a plow lane or using it. It's better to just go to Stamford Bridge. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And you just have to start somewhere. With the Brighton thing, I feel like weirdly I'm not really torn about it. I think, the fact that the club are doing this, they're showing initiative, right? They're showing the women's team that they care and that they matter. And I think that's been the case for the past couple of years. I think when Fran Kirby signed with Brighton, I think there was a podcast that I listened to where she said, there is a project here and she believes in that project. And this is just another aspect of that project, if you will. The only thing that I feel a little concerned about is suddenly, like, the Amex and this new stadium are in like physical proximity, right? Like you said, Freya, it's going to be connected by a bridge.
That's the bridge.
Now, yeah, I am a little concerned that it's going to weirdly create like a segregation of sorts. I don't know, maybe it's just in my head.
Okay.
I just, yeah, I just feel like, for example, say if I'm assuming maybe for like a big game, say against an Arsenal or a Chelsea or a Man City, Brighton decide to move that game to the Amex. I feel like there'll be more criticism about that, saying, "Oh, we already built you a stadium. Go play there. Don't come here," sort of a thing. So I just feel like, from like the mentality of like, listen, people who want to watch women's football will always go and watch women's football. But I feel like having a separate stadium, I don't know, I just wonder if it's like a bit of a deterrent. Like, for example, when you think about Stamford Bridge, the thing that I'm excited about is, maybe because of the increased access, a lot of fans who predominantly watch the men's team, who don't usually go to watch the women's team, will turn up. And a big part of moving to Stamford Bridge is to bring in those fans as well. I wonder if doing this will have the same kind of impact for Brighton. I don't know. These are very raw thoughts. None of it is fully formulated, I'm afraid. But yeah,
Bringing in the fans that women's football has said they don't want from men's football.
oh my god, yeah.
That's the. I think
That's Nikki Doucet's problem, not my problem.
I think Stamford Bridge. I think moving to Stamford Bridge works for Chelsea because they can early on they can only open the bottom tier of the West Stand, only open the bottom tier of the Matthew Harding Stand, only open the top tier, say, of the Shed End, and so. The West Stand has 3 tiers. Close the top 2. So
make it work.
So when the filming is coming in, it looks busy because you see the crowd. You see the crowd in the Shed. And one of the problems with somewhere like Villa Park is you've got an iconic stadium, you've got the iconic stand, which is the whole end, and there's nobody in it.
And you can't bloody sit in it. They have opened it for the Arsenal game though. Because they sent a message out to season ticket holders saying, we've decided to open the Holt End. If you want to move your seat from where you normally sit into the Holt End for this occasion, then you can. And everyone's gone, well, that would have been lovely if we could have booked our seats all together when booking opened for the match. Because that's why we've all got our season tickets together, because we want to sit together. So yeah, loads of people have actually said no. Because it's hard enough to get atmosphere sitting in one stand.
Never mind split between them.
Yeah, so I think it would have been nice if they went, right, Holt End, Arsenal match, let's do it, like let's make this big, and giving people the chance to do it early.
The King Power only has one stand open. It looks pathetic. because it's a 30,000 seat stadium with 2,000 people in it.
Well, I think James said earlier as well, a high home attendance is about 2,000. So yeah, it's
and as well, you have the problem that some stadiums, some of the older stadiums, Stamford Bridge, when it's full, is a very noisy stadium because of the architecture. It's a classic old stadium. It's got low roofs, it's square, it's closed in. You've got the King Power and a lot of stadiums. The problem that Sunderland might have at the stadium are they're massive bowls. They're built for multi. All the sound goes up and out, and you see that the Emirates is nowhere near the noise of Highbury. The Etihad is nowhere near the noise of Main Road, because it's the only stadium that I can think of, the only new design stadium that I can think of that has genuinely managed to keep that old school noise feel is Spurs, because it's specific. Because the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium has specifically been built architecturally. The reason it's so steep is to reflect the sound back in. And the reason the stands behind the goal are both single tier and they're huge, but it's this idea of you have a wall of fans, and
that wall of fans is most just saying boo.
Now, yeah,
get off the pitch. Yeah, because I went to I won tickets a few seasons ago to go to the Tottenham Stadium, and I felt like I was going to get a nosebleed walking up. So I was like, when is this going to end? Like,
that was bad as St James's Park, the away end at St James's Park. If you've ever had the pleasure of being in that, you need an oxygen bottle.
It's just a punishment for being an away fan. That's what it is.
We're going to make you drive 400 miles and then climb another 3.
Yeah. And you will enjoy it for all this football.
You will enjoy it.
So West Ham away end is worse.
Oh,
West
God,
Ham's
yeah.
much in the skies. You need binoculars. Binoculars makes you just see.
This is why of the worst things. West Ham women cannot move into the London Stadium, because that's just.
Have they ever played there? They haven't, have they?
No, they're the only team in the WSL who hasn't played at their main stadium.
We're talking about what's going on with Leicester. Like, West Ham needs a shake-up as well, because it's just not on. They don't support their women's team.
West Ham have got far bigger problems at the moment with the recent revelations about their owner, and the anonymity that everybody basically knew anyway, and people had been talking about it anyway. But now the ban and the anonymity has officially been waived, so it has been officially confirmed that their owner is being investigated for some pretty horrific stuff. Like,
it's just bloody men's teams, eh?
Which might explain something about why West Ham women get something of a raw deal, because they were also the team that had an 18-year-old chairman at one point.
Yeah,
because it was a thing where one of the owners went to his son, "Oh yeah, you go run the women's team for PR stuff."
Yeah, no one will notice. Quick, you go over there. Yes. Repo, unfortunately, yes, you have. You're gonna have to rewind it, start from the beginning.
I'll do it again if you want. I'm more than happy, but
50p and Paul,
we'll be here till midnight. So
I was going to say, let's keep going. So just quickly then, we also had Champions League at the weekend, which is why Aston Villa weren't playing, because darn Arsenal getting through again into the semi-finals. So this was the first leg of the semi-finals, and we had Arsenal won over Lyon 2-1. It did. I was watching the highlights back, and I forgot just how much that Endler. It's after 9. Cock up led to the Arsenal goal.
Can we just call out, by the way, with that and the cock up?
Yes.
The number of large men's football banter accounts. Never talked about women's football.
I saw
and suddenly started doing what's going on in the Women's Champions League. Oh yeah, you've never talked about women's football before, and suddenly We call it out if it was in the men's game, yeah, but you know why you're calling it out in the women's game because it's an easy way for.
In reference to the Lecoq Stadium, for those who didn't watch last week.
I think I'm on Endler's side with that inverted cock up. Inverted commas cock up. Because if you watch, Caldenti plays that ball in, and I think it's Blackstenius goes right across the front of Endler and sticks her foot out and doesn't happen to make contact. I don't think she was credited with the goal, was it? Because Caldenti was. But
no, it was an Engen own goal.
Yeah.
Was it an end?
Because she tried to clear it off the line.
Yeah. So it was. She got to it in the end.
Oh, is that the Liv Smith one you're talking about, not the. So Liv Smith was.
It's the Engen own goal that Caldente took a free kick for.
Yeah,
it's the one that
the one that went.
It's like a misfield in cricket, right? She goes down and just like bobbles off.
To be fair, you could possibly blame Engen for both goals. I think both goals. In the first one, there's no communication between Endler and Engen. The first one, there's no. They're not sure she gets a shout from Endler, and then obviously it just goes past her, and she tries to curl the line, but just completely airballs it. And the second one, Smith just runs in behind, and there's just no awareness. And how is Engen playing for a team like Leon? She's a Norway international. To be honest, she'd probably be more suited a team like, I don't know, trying to think of a team who are probably, think of those old team, possibly more suited to a team like, I don't know, Man United.
But I have to say though, for that one, even though she tried to clear it off the line, she was the only one there defending. Where's everyone else?
I mean, I want to defend Engen. I'm sorry. The pass from Horan is asking for trouble. That back pass, that is where everything starts. And obviously, it's a big miscommunication between Endler and Engen, obviously. But again, you also have to credit Liv Smith because they're all in a bundle. And she's the one who gets up and reacts the fastest. So credit to Olivia Smith as well. But for the first goal, I'm just so annoyed with Lyon because Arsenal did the exact same set piece against Benfica. Chloe Kelly plays the ball through in between the wall, and Alessia Russo gets in the end of it, in the group stages. It was like an exact replica. And the fact that they did not see it coming is like a real... I mean, it's a big cock up from the
Arsenal being set piece of C, of course.
It's just when I saw that happen, I was just like, guys, come on, wake the hell up! What are you doing? But yeah, I mean, like Paul said, I also understand why Engen gets thrown off, right? Because Stina's sort of running at it.
I think
Endler gets thrown off.
I think Endler is anticipating contact.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's anticipating the Arsenal striker getting the ball, and it would have looked far worse if she'd not and gone down for the misfield in perfect position and had knelt for it and had Blackstenius nip across in front of her.
Yeah, that's true. Just briefly, while I remember, it was Katie Keane's WSL debut tonight for Leicester in goal. 9 saves, 4 from inside the box. So I mean, what a way to make your WSL debut, eh? But yes, I think Arsenal. I did think Lyon had much more to give, and I just think in that second half, Arsenal just did that slightly bit more, didn't they, to clinch that narrow win? But got the reverse fixture on Saturday to look forward to over in Lyon, and of course Bayern Munich held Barcelona to a 1-1 draw at the Allianz Arena. I wasn't expecting a 1-1. I don't know about anyone else. 31,000 in attendance, which was fantastic. But we need to talk about Ket. If you're from the northeast, that means sweets.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so
it doesn't mean sweets in the Midlands.
I'm talking about the player.
I was going to say it doesn't mean sweets in the Midlands. I thought we were in a public information film.
I've been told the story before, but my friend went to university in I think she went to Cardiff, and she was like, "Oh, has anyone got any Ket?" and they all looked at her like, have you
That's
just
brilliant.
blatantly asked for some cat? And she was like, sweets. What do you think I meant? She just didn't even think that I would mean obviously what it means. And she was like, oh God, okay, like I won't say that again.
Side note, what idiot first decided, do you know what? I'm going to try something that's meant to knock out horses and see what it does.
Yeah. Oh.
It's the same person who calls a batch a barm cake.
I reckon it's the same person who first decided to milk a cow. Like, because when you actually think about it,
It does make you wonder where all these things come from.
And you know, do you reckon they had a trial room with a bull and went, no, maybe not, and then so like.
Oh, Paul. Right. Anyway,
Kai's looking down, thinking, "Why have I decided to come on a podcast with 3 British people?"
I'm still. I think it took me a while to understand what the other cat is. Once you mentioned the horses,
It's like, yeah,
understood. Yeah.
horse tranquilizer. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, got it.
which of course it puts a zip in any night out. You know, it's what everybody thinks for a good time.
God.
Allegedly.
I'm gonna give myself enough drugs to knock out a horse because that's how we're gonna have a good night. Again, I have never tried ketamine for legal purposes.
No, we at the Absolute Football Podcast do not condone any behaviour of that kind, of course. Anyway, we're talking about the player Ket. Now she comes on, scores a goal. Well, hey, and it's 1-1, and it's brilliant. And then 10 minutes later, she gets a red card for yet another hair pull. Now, is this the third one recently we've seen?
Yes.
It is, yes.
Second or third, yeah. So Barcelona has gone in front through Eva Payol. Brilliant goal. If you haven't seen it, please watch it back. Assisted by Esme Brutes. Then Ket comes on 69th minute, and then in the 80th minute, she gets a red card. Bayern manager Jose Barsala is also shown a red card for protesting. Did we all see what he said about the red card incident?
No,
I believe he said it was similar to the other incident in the quarterfinal where Katie McCabe did obviously the exact same to Alyssa Thompson and didn't even get a booking, I believe. Was that what he said?
He said something else. He said the rules need a bit of an overhaul in the women's game because it's more likely that players have longer hair. So it's going to
women
happen.
have long hair is his defense.
Women have longer hair. So it shouldn't be a red card offence because it can happen. It's just like and I think they were talking about it on TalkSport as well. And they were just saying, look, at the end of the day, the players who say, oh, I was just going for a shirt, you still can't do that though.
I saw that. Was it Leah Sanderson and Eurisha Littlejohn were talking about it.
Yes,
and didn't Eurisha Littlejohn sometimes say that the players just have their hair cut or just tie it up? Like, why? Why should a player before just have their their hair just tied up? Like, I'm not seeing from a female perspective.
Police it. Like you just can't because again, women's football has had so many years of being told what you can't do. We're not going to bring in another law being like, oh, well, you've got to have your hair in a high bun or you've got to shave it. Like, no, we're not having any of that. Have your hair how you want it and keep your hands off. That should be it. So any force of that kind should then be a red because of then what it means. Because it's cynical, isn't it? Because you are pulling the shirt. But yeah, 21 Franziska Ket. The opening line of the BBC Sport article is she went from hero to villain for Bayern Munich after levelling the semi-final first leg before later being sent off.
I mean, given her namesake drug is a dissociative painkiller, she could easily have been on it. Just had an out-of-body experience and just gone, just reached. Like, I
Freya doesn't approve.
Oh, a bit close. bit close to the bone. It's a good thing I can't see you, Paul, so it's all good. But yes, it was just a moment where clearly, and I mean, Rusha said it on her pod as well. She was like, "Yeah, I'll go for the shirt. You've got to sometimes. You just take one for the team, and because you've got to stop the advantage." And I think players do that. We know there's pushing and shoving, and there's a bit of tugging and things like that, isn't there? But it's the intent of a proper shirt pull, isn't it?
Yeah, I can see Richard Upton's point. You know, sometimes you got to go for the shirt. Sometimes you got to German suplex them. You know.
The occasion calls. No. Yeah, Kai, what were we going to say there?
No, it's just inexcusable. Like, have the awareness. You're a footballer. As a footballer, you're supposed to be aware of so many different things. Why is it that you can't be aware that Paruello has long hair? It's just awareness. It's really silly because, I mean, honestly, Ket had a brilliant game. I thought she dealt with Graham Hansen extremely well,
She's really
and she
clear
obviously
enough, wasn't
scores.
she? Yeah,
But obviously, Paolo just is going to run past her, and in that moment, at that point in the game, you just have to trust that your teammates are going to cover for you. Don't commit that foul because, say, she hadn't grabbed her hair, she just grabbed her shirt. She would have picked up a yellow, and it would have been a free kick in a really interesting spot for Barcelona. Do you really want to put your team there? I mean, she's a young player. It's a bit of head loss, but for me, the bigger issue is Barcola. You saw him; he absolutely lost his shit, and I'm just like, why are you complaining here? Why on earth? Do you the ref went straight for the red card, and the moment that happened, you could tell that among the referees, they have clearly had a chat after when they do their reviews, right? They've clearly had a conversation after the McCabe hair pull, right? This is a completely non-negotiable thing to do on the pitch. It is definitely violent conduct. She goes for a red immediately, but I don't understand what Barcola is arguing about. I mean, it was clear in the media how egregious McCabe uh, not getting a red card was. That was an outlier. It was something that was being criticized. For him to come out and protest that red card in the most idiotic fashion, pick up a red card. Now you're not going to be on the touchline for possibly your team's biggest game of the season. You're an absolute idiot.
He's put himself in that situation, for no
And
reason.
this hair pull happens right in front of you. And as the manager, this is the choice you make. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's no excuse for his behavior. Obviously, it's inexcusable, but for him to do that as somebody who has experience, who's been in high pressure situations, it's just it's stupid.
Yeah, no, it is. I completely agree. And there's supporting your players and wanting to fight their corner, but sometimes you just have to admit they were in the wrong.
I will defend him slightly by saying that he probably feels justified because if it's not punished, if something that egregious isn't punished at one point and then is punished, you're going to turn around and go, well, hold on a minute. How the hell do we have two referees who can't agree on something as clear, as you say, something as clear violent conduct as that? So we need the rules to either turn around and say
consistency, right?
Yes.
We need to either turn around and say, right, okay, the way we deal with this is the way that we don't want to deal with it, where we mandate how players present themselves on the field in order that there's not even the risk of this accidentally happening. Or we turn around and go, right, okay, listen, this is ridiculous. My player's been sent off in the semi-final, and so I will be missing them for the second leg, while another player another team
is winning free kicks for her team, which they convert. By the way,
winning games for her team, which she shouldn't be playing in.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
So we need to fix this somehow. And He came up with completely the wrong idea with the whole players shouldn't have long hair or should turn their hair up. But we need to sort this, so if it does happen, it's an instant red. And if that is you pull hair up so that if someone goes for someone hair, they can't even have the excuse of I was going for the shirt and missed.
Yeah, which is awful anyway. Yeah,
which I think is potentially how his thought process was working, but it was incredibly poorly expressed. And as you say, Kai, he was probably better off just not saying that.
But I still don't get it. Like, I mean, hair pull has been a violent conduct. I understand that he feels hard done by for sure, but then you can't stand by the touchline and be like, no, you didn't send McCabe off, and therefore you cannot send Keth off. Like it's just a bit bizarre. It's almost like juvenile, you know?
Yeah,
very much.
Like two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I'm saying? You have to fix it at some point.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because obviously him saying that, obviously him saying K3K bond, that doesn't concern him. That's not his team. He manages Bayern, not Chelsea, so he shouldn't really get involved. What he probably should have is just done what Son did after the second leg and just get his phone and just go, either this or this.
Remember this moment. Yes, definitely should have. Because that's the thing. Like, you can be angry that your player got a red card because now you're without them for, like we said, such an important game. But you can't be angry at the reasoning because she did it. But yes.
I put a downer on the game because Bayern was so good, I thought. It was so defensively solid. They were so resolute because last time they did face Barcelona in the group league phase of this season's Champions League, they lost, I believe, 7-1? So if we go from a 7-1 loss to a 1-1 draw at home, that's a massive improvement.
Brilliant.
And obviously, when it stayed 1-1, they think, okay, we got something from there. We can possibly, if we can just stay as resolute as we did in the first leg, and possibly still have that threat with the likes of Harder, who I thought again was fantastic, got the assist for Ket's goal. Then they could possibly think, okay, we could possibly cause a shock against Barcelona in the Nou Camp. But then now losing that player, thinking, okay, we're going to find it a bit tough.
Yes, and speaking of the Nou Camp, I've had confirmation Aitana Bonmati is eligible and fit to play at the weekend at the Nou Camp, making her return in this second leg, which makes it even more exciting. Now, of course, coming back from injury, doubt she'll start, but hey, we don't know.
Of course, Barca have the motivation to win this and win the Champions League before Alexi Putellas leaves for London City. So they want to send her off in the best possible way.
Oh, if that happens, that'll be so funny. However, there's of course the rumours that McCabe and Mead are on their way to Man City, isn't there as well?
I did also read Kate McCabe being linked with Chelsea. I'm like, no.
Yeah, Chelsea are also interested, aren't they? Yes, I did see that
thanks.
one. Is that a hard no?
I was thinking, get me the other hair puller.
No.
Like I said, get me Ket, not McCabe.
I love how Nessie.
Oh, I'll still be laughing when she turns up. Don't you worry.
Nessie quietly because she made the point in another chat that she genuinely feels that of the two, it's Mappy Dion who's the smokescreen.
Interesting.
For Putellas. And Mappy Dion is the one who's more likely to stay in Barcelona.
I can't see her leaving Barcelona. I think she's going to be a complete lifer unless something drastically happens with Barcelona. I just can't see her leaving because why would you leave that setup when you're good for life, really? Why
would you go to Kent?
Just
apparently, this is one of the silliest arguments I've had on Twitter, and believe me, I've had a few with women's football fans that are stupid. When I made this joke, I had a Chelsea blogger Harry Edwards, who is on Chelsea Women Twitter a lot, go, Bromley's in London. And I literally just had the pleasure of turning around to him and go, postal address is in Cape, mate. See you later.
Sorry, Graham.
It's like,
yeah, it's just life in Barcelona. Bromley.
but let's face it. If she does come, she won't live in Bromley because
That's a very good point. Yeah,
she will
not
probably. I would imagine there will, with London City being who they are, there will be a full package of. We will obtain you somewhere to live in a, sorry, Graham, far more desirable part of London
than
Bromley.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
I can see that happening. And again, Barcelona is a lovely city, blah, blah, blah. London is London. You know, for all the running down that London gets, weirdly, by certain sections of British politics and whatever else, London is still one of the greatest cities in the world. It's still one of the most well-known cities in the world. It's a bucket list city for people to visit and live in.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I think when you're so close to it, you kind of don't see it from other perspectives, do you?
It's a massive pull. Why has there always been the traditional talk about London clubs being powerful? Because they can say, "Come and live in London."
Oh, Chislehurst, Most Haunted did a they went to Chislehurst Caves. That's how I know it. There you go. Kai, if you're not familiar with Most Haunted, it was a fantastic TV show in the early noughties with Yvette Fielding, who of Blue Peter fame, and they would pretend that,
which was a famous kids TV. I'm assuming you know this already, but Blue Peter is an iconic kids TV program, and basically, if people present it, they're pretty much set for life in doing other things.
Life. Yeah,
unless you're Katie Hill, apparently. But
yeah, so Yvette and her husband Carl and their friend Stuart would go and set up paranormal investigations at various locations, and there'd be lots of things happening that were never caught on camera. Shame. And mediums that were fake. So it was all very much entertainment purposes, but it was made out to be this very serious ghost hunting show. Chislehurst Caves, they went there, and that's how I know that name.
I first we should give Kai a list of like iconic TV shows in the UK that he should watch.
That we're just going to occasionally reference. But over the summer, it's like
I can bring myself. Yeah, over the summer, great.
Over the summer, it's like, Kai, here is a quick British culture crash course of references that will be made, so you know what's going on.
When we randomly mention jokes of no, we can't explain any of this. We're sorry.
just
why did you watch this?
If we mention some bloke called Joe Hendry, just Google wrestling. And Google his intro theme. And then it's like, James Bond, Michelle Kang as well. Someone once described Mauricio Pellegrino, the Man City and everything else manager, as looking like a haunted tree. And Michelle Kang, I never understood it until I saw Michelle Kang just kind of gliding through. Did you see, to return to vaguely football reference, did you see she just randomly sauntered down the tunnel, by the way, at the Emirates?
Who's letting her down there?
I think she was there. I swear.
Just appears on the sideline. Yeah.
Do you reckon the security guard let her in and she just said, "I find your lack of willingness to let me in disappointing." and suddenly he couldn't breathe. Like he was that's how she got down there. For legal purposes, I am not actually saying that one of the largest billionaires in the world is in fact a Sith Lord.
But the question, I wonder if she'll show up to lift the trophy again. Took the glory from London City and was just like, no, this is my trophy now. Probably.
I will defend her slightly for that because she comes from American sport, which has this really weird thing, even in the NWSL, where the owners lift the trophy.
Do they?
Like at the Super Bowl, for example.
Okay.
The owners are the ones presented with the trophy, and often now they will hand it on to the quarterback or one of the star players or whatever.
Mm.
But in the NBA as well, the NBA trophy and the MLB World Series trophy is presented to the owners first of all, and then it's up to them what they do with it.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, maybe we can let her off, but the memes were quite funny when that came out. So the second legs are on this weekend. And we're actually, this is a little shout out. What we're going to do is we're going to do a live watch along on Saturday because it's Lyon Arsenal at 2:00. And then, of course, it's the final day at the WSL2 at 3. So we'll probably be going live like 1:45 maybe-ish, a little bit before the Arsenal game. And fingers crossed, if everything stays the same, the lovely Adam is going to be joining us as well to watch the Arsenal game. And yeah, we'll just have a really, really good afternoon.
I am hoping to be around for about 3 for that one, so I will.
Yeah, perfect.
So because in the nicest possible way, having to sit for an hour would be nice about Arsenal.
I can do that.
Yeah, just come in for the 3:00 one. It's fine.
Yeah, we do
I'll be
live
doing it live
on the channel, and my co-host Ash is a Spurs fan, so it's just like 2 hours of us collectively hoping and praying for an Arsenal loss every time we watch Arsenal. It's quite fun.
Do you reckon we can the podcast budget will stretch to a selfie stick for Graham?
What?
So he's just in one corner as a watch along.
So we'll get his real life thoughts after the game.
Live from the valley, like Graham Kamara.
Yeah.
There's been a goal for Charlton, has there?
Yeah.
Will you be doing a live for the Charlton Birmingham City game as well?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so we'll start at about 1:45, and then we'll just go straight through for both games, and we'll keep an eye on.
Nice.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I'm a bit sad that there's no relegation battle now, because
I know, because Portsmouth, bless them, are gone, aren't they? But yes, but it'll still be fun because Palace Portsmouth, it'll be ultimately, well, how many can Palace win by, really?
three-way title battle.
Three-way title battle, yeah. And then of course pride and ego for the others. There's a Northeast Star. Well, come on to it later. Hang on, we'll not get ahead of ourselves. But yes, it's going to be really fun Saturday afternoon. So if you're not going along to your local team, do come join us. It'll be a lot of fun. Yes, right. Should we actually talk about the
I mean,
and then we will let Kai go to bed after this.
Let's leave Leicester alone and just say that London City finally did what
we'll just say
said they were going
it
to do.
Happened. I'll put the scores up. People can bring their own opinions.
And also, can we just point out? I will admit this.
Yes,
I will admit this, and I will take the bullet for this. We had a rare occasion in the London City game because we had a player score for London City that had apparently been there since January that I didn't know existed.
Knew about. Yes,
I love.
Yeah, like
I didn't know she existed. That's on me. Yeah,
like, you know it.
Sorry, if we're in a position right where 4 people who do weekly podcasts on the women's game and watch it and talk about it knowledgeably and follow the league religiously, are completely unaware of Malu Malotto Relov turning up, have London City developed an invisibility cloak?
No, Michelle Kang, she probably got it from Nocturne Alley.
Very good. Yeah, I can't move it, annoyingly.
Lean to your left.
This way.
There we go.
Hello.
Yeah, if you lean to your left, far enough
no,
over,
hang on.
we can see.
Oh, I can hide it. There we go.
Oh, there
Yay!
you go.
I'll put it back on in a minute because I know everyone's to get their mugs. So yes. So Leicester, they did go ahead. They did score, and then London City woke up and scored 5. Freya Godfrey, of course, very good goal from her. And yes, like we said, Marsetto, couldn't have told you. Never seen her face. Not even because some players like you kind of know their face, but you might not know their name because they've only had a few minutes. Like I think
It's like Moroccan football players. You never know their names, but their fezzes are familiar.
She apparently has made what? I looked it up. 5 league appearances this season. I don't know how we've missed her.
No idea. Literally, we all said who,
and she started 4 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, she has.
This is on us, guys.
No.
I think this is on us.
Is there just like a reality black hole
that we've all just fallen in?
We were watching the game. Did someone just like, what's that thing in Men in Black where you just get the pen? And just, like,
Oh God!
Oh, it's like a Mandela effect. Just like, does she?
Oh, they do exist.
Yeah.
London. It's just that everybody remembers Millie City Royal playing for London City, but did she actually do so, or was it a collective hallucination? London City only.
As they're saying there, Izzy Goodwin, 3 goals in 3 games, and
yes.
I think we previously said how good Izzy Goodwin has been so far this season. Again, she came up with another clutch goal. They came after a bit of a pinball in the box, but she was able then just to get her laces through and just belt it in the back of the net. And how good is Izzy Goodwin? I think also because she plays for London City, she doesn't get the recognition she deserves. Like if she was playing for Brighton or Spurs, then possibly people might more talk about her possibly for England.
Yeah,
it's hard, isn't it? Because Izzy Goodwin, we all talked about her last season, and we were like, she's really good. Like when she was at Villa, she just needed that bit more nurturing and a bit more time and a bit more. But now she's got that, and especially when she was playing in the Championship, she was really stretched. And I thought, if there's one person, please don't lose when you go up to the WSL, is Izzy Goodwin, because she deserved that change. And I really, really do appreciate the fact that she's been able to continue to showcase what she can do
I think the thing with her as well, with Izzy Goodwin as well, she is such a unique physical specimen in the women's game, because her pace and power and height.
She's a bit like a Jill Scott in that sense, isn't she? Like lots of limbs.
But but I remember when she came to Coventry and watching her play first, I was like, flipping heck, she's tall.
Yeah.
And then there was a ball over the top, and you have this idea in football, you have archetypes like if someone's tall, they're probably a big lump, a bit of a cart horse, they're not that quick. And she just kind of glided away from the defence and was through on goal. It's like, bloody hell, this girl's quick.
She's got it all, yes.
I am amazed, like you say, that more talk hasn't been made of journalists talking about, in the conversation of 50 players who could be fringe players, outside players for England, and she wasn't even mentioned. And it's like, the only reason that's happened is because you haven't watched her.
Yeah.
Because you can see the absolute. It's like watching Erling Haaland. It's the raw power and the raw talent, and you're like, this person is not like other human beings.
No.
This person has something very unique, and when they learn to use it, Haaland has learned to use it. Izzy Goodwin is still, as you say, sometimes you got the feeling she was kind of either growing into her body or getting used to what she could do with it. And then she went to Sheffield United and started to see it. Last year with London City, she started to see it. And then everyone, but can she do it at the top tier? And she has. And it's just like...
I feel as though, next year we got that Women's World Cup in 2027 coming up. Everyone's going to talk about, of course, Bruce is going to be leading the line for England. But I feel though that second possible striker, just behind striker slot, it could be so close between Izzy Goodwin and Michelle Adjumang. it's going because if Izzy Goodwin can have as good season next season as she has this season, she could be in with a shout.
She will. I mean, she's scoring regularly for the under-23s as well.
Yes.
I think if she starts performing consistently with London City, so the thing that I'm going to watch out for this summer is whether LCL go for like a more seasoned elite striker, because if it's going to eat into Goodwin's game time, then that might be a problem for her. But if she can sort of establish herself as a starting striker for London City, because
Yeah.
Serena is looking at London City, like that we can tell for sure because Freya Godfrey did get a call up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really curious to see because yeah, like Matthew said, that second spot between Aggie, Ajumang, and uh, like Isabel Goodwin could very well get into that. So she just needs to. I don't know. I feel like she's really struggled this season to keep up with the league. Like she is an extremely good player. You can see that there is a really, really good striker there. But maybe this is a season that she needed to get through to get exposed to the quality of the league, the pace of the league, etc. So hopefully we'll see like a better version of her next season.
Yeah, I really hope so because like you said, you see the majority of the time you can see those flashes of this is what she can do, and but yeah, I think you're right. It's been like a transitional season to get her up to scratch with the WSL and prove that she can be a part of this level. Yeah, absolutely. Now, of course, the big shock for a lot of people this weekend was that top result there. Brighton and Hove Albion 3, Manchester City 2. Because I believe I would be right in saying if City had won that one, then the title was pretty much theirs, done and dusted. However, Brighton went, nope, we're going to keep you waiting a little bit longer. So yeah, I mean, Seike's goal to put them in front was just a thing of beauty with Kirby's assist as well. And you just think, when Brighton click, it's like they're really lovely to watch. Like they do play some really lovely football. But again, I think it's that mid-table curse of no one's really bothered because
I do wonder what would have happened if Dario Vidicic had been able to spend the full season with the team, and his dad hadn't sadly passed away, and then obviously he was away for several weeks with that, and Rado Vidicic is around as well. And I think that it will be very interesting next season, like you say, with the moves Brighton are making. What they do over the summer. This is the put up or shut up year for them because they've got the potential. They've had the potential.
They've got
they keep showing it with results like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, because obviously, as Kiyosaki becomes I think I've read the first Brighton player scoring 4 consecutive WSL games. And even then, obviously, Madison Haley scoring a brace, and she seems to really come into her own, Madison Haley, as of recently. Of course, she scored in the legendary FA Cup quarter-final win away at Arsenal, the opening goal there. But yeah, I really like Madison Haley as well. I think she's very much, she's possibly not got as many goals as she has, possibly should have, but she seems to be getting better and better. And she's American international. I'm not sure she's ever played for the US national team. I'm not 100% confident on that, but I think she is very much someone who, plus like we were talking earlier about Izzy Goodwin, she has that potential to be someone who can possibly be that leading figure for the US national team and also for Brighton.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I really like about Madison Haley is, I mean, she obviously has like fitness issues, which means we don't get to see her for like a good chunk of games. And I feel like for the last 2 or 3 months, she's managed to stay fit, and her back to goal play is just incredible. She is honestly like next to Bunny Shaw and Alessia Russo. I think she might be up there. in terms of quality with her hold-up play. And the other thing, because I watch Brighton a lot, like for a year and a half now, the most frustrating thing with Haley has been her inability to finish. And now we're seeing that as well. We're seeing goals. And I wonder, I really hope it's not a purple patch. I hope she continues. She's just hit another level in her career rather than just like, a form for a brief period of time. But yeah, I think Madison Haley is, incredible player. She's so crucial for the way Brighton play. She does a lot of the things that, we see Bunny or Alessia Russo do. Like she drops deep, she links up play. For the first goal, she scores. She's the one who drops deep, picks up the ball, passes it to Fran Kirby, and then sort of gets it back. So she does that extremely well, and she's not an easy player to defend against. So yeah, a very, very exciting player to watch.
Very much, yeah. And of course, scoring a brace in that game as well. And I think the first few minutes, like when Carolyn scored 5th minute, you're just saying, "Oh, okay, here we go again, City." But Brighton, again, they thought, "No, we're gonna go for it. We're not gonna roll over. Like we're gonna really give you a game." And I think we've said this before, but like teams like your Villas, your Brightons, like those mid-table teams, just show up against teams like City and Arsenal and Chelsea, and really, really give them a fight. And it's just like, but you can do it against those teams. Do it consistently, and then who knows what the table will look like. Spurs United. How Spurs didn't win that game, I do not know. There was clearly a force field around the goal. From a United perspective, it was poor. Very poor, so we won't dwell on it. But United managed to nick a point from that performance. But yeah, Spurs. I wasn't wishing for a goal to go in, but I think they just created so much. I just felt like they deserved one for that. So yeah.
Well, they had 22 shots on target, shots at goal. Spurs, I think they had. Something crazy like that.
Yeah, they had like 9 on target, I think.
Yeah, it's like 22 attempts.
22 shots, 5 on target compared to United's 10 and 3. Yeah. So they had the possession, they had touches in the box, double the touches in the box. More fouls committed. But yeah, overall, they were the better team. And yet United managed to hold them off, which was the most disappointing bit. Annoyingly for the Liverpool West Ham game, that had to be an own goal. Again, I really thought Vivacé was so close to scoring and just came so close. And again, I want it for the West Ham players that have given everything, even when their seasons looked a bit dire and we thought they would be in trouble, and they never stopped showing up. And I think Vivacé is one of them. But yeah, she looked on fire at the weekend. But West Ham did get their win, of course. There's one game we haven't spoken about yet. Little Chelsea game.
Woo!
There we go.
That also happened at the weekend. Now, I do have to say before we talk about Sam Kerr, of course, getting back to winning ways, Mimiki's goal, we mentioned it briefly earlier. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The way she just put her foot through it and was like, yep, I'm getting that from a good distance as well. But the question on everyone's lips, of course, is should Sam Kerr have had a hat-trick?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
in agreement. For those who didn't see, Sam Kerr, of course, hits the ball, goes over the line. Brosnan's kind of behind it, trying to scramble it, isn't she? Before she collects it, but it does go over the line. But of course, we don't have VAR, so we couldn't check, and the lines person didn't spot it either, so it wasn't given. And you just think, yes, it ended 4-1, you would have won anyway. But if that was a game where it was 1-1, and it was a title, or if it was much tighter margins, those are the decisions that officials need to be getting right, isn't it? When it's so clear. So yeah, have either of you got any anything you want to mention from that match? Any favourite moments?
Overall, obviously really good start. From Chelsea. Of course, we took the lead through Sam Kerr. Obviously, that first Sam Kerr goal that she scored. Obviously, all the credit has to go to Lauren James. The way she picks up the ball, the Chelsea pitch, and just glides through, lays it off to Erin, and then feeds it into Sam. Then obviously, of course, Amiki scoring that brilliant equaliser to bring Everton level, which they did deserve. But I feel as though, obviously, one mentioning we didn't actually mention at the start of the second half, though, Everton did have that glorious chance through Maz Pacheco where she missed from somehow a yard out. And I saw that, I was like, how has she made? Because a brilliant ball in visit by Tony Payne, I think, on the right hand side. Like, beautiful cross, and you think so she's gonna just tap it into the back of her empty net, but somehow she blazes it. I'm like, it's one of those chances where it's harder to miss than it is to score.
Yeah. There was a 0.95 XG chance.
Probably best saw that. I was thinking, for goodness sake. Probably Kobe just smashed their head on the laptop.
I'm just impressed you were calm enough to respond, for goodness sake, because me watching my teams and seeing a miss like that, as Kerry will testify, is not for goodness sake. I have said things about Coventry City players that I think I look back and go, wow, where did that come from? And then you realise it was the pressure of the moment.
I said Frank Lampard was going to be a bad appointment, and look how we did now.
Yeah. Yeah. I still have a hat to eat somewhere.
Live on Saturday.
live on Saturday. I'll eat one of those "We'll be back" posters.
I saw them. Yeah.
They're really annoying at this end. But again, because I will never refuse an excuse to talk about Coventry City, it does mean I have been trying to look into it more, and there are more people starting to talk about So now within the people have actually been gently nudging the Coventry City owner Doug King, because at a fans forum shortly after he took over, the question was asked, Coventry City women's football is where it is. Why don't we have a women's team? Because there was one. Why didn't we take it over? Why don't we take it over? And his response was very much, it's something that we're looking at, but we need to be in the Premier League for financial things, realistically. If we're going to do it properly the way we want it and put money into it, we need Premier League money. And basically, recently, it has been followed up, and someone's asked him, and he's gone, yeah, I remember what I said about it. We're aware of it. So
it could,
fingers crossed, that we could be talking about Coventry City, maybe not in this set of things, but certainly the WSL2 or
I hope so.
Third tier.
Really hope so.
Sometime soon.
Yeah. I just want to mention as well from the United match, Ella Toon, of course, made a welcome return. She's been out since December, I believe, with a hip problem. Came off the bench and then ended up being the highest rated player of the match. So that I think tells you everything you need to know.
Actually, I just know something I need to mention actually from the Chelsea game. Obviously, Sam Kerr scoring a brace there. Obviously, had that third goal been going in, that would have moved her top of the list of Chelsea women's all-time leading goal scorers. Now she's level with Super Frank Kirby. So if VAR hadn't done its job, then Sam Kerr would have won the crown for women's all-time leading goal scorer.
So she has 2 games to get there. She has Leicester.
2 more.
Yeah. She'll get there, hopefully.
Yeah, I think she'll get there. Particularly maybe this weekend. Let's have a look. So across the bank holiday weekend, then we've got lots of games for you. So Saturday is United versus Brighton. Again, I think that's going to be a bit tighter. Maybe Brighton even get something from that one, the way they've been playing. We've got Spurs, London City, Man City, Liverpool, and Leicester, Chelsea on Sunday. And then Aston Villa, because they like to be different, is on Monday at 1:00 versus West Ham. And then, of course, on the Wednesday is going to be Brighton versus Arsenal for their rescheduled fixture. So, yes, any games there we're looking forward to for this weekend?
Man United versus Brighton. I think if Manchester United lose that or don't win, then they're not getting Champions League football.
No, I was going to show people the table, but of course Arsenal played tonight, so it'll be wrong. So at the minute, so like we said, United are 2 points behind Arsenal. Ideally they need a win, but they certainly can't lose this weekend to still be in with a slight chance.
Chelsea can confirm UWCL qualification if they get a better result than Manchester United.
Oh. Yes, because Chelsea on 43 points. So that would take them within those top 3 spots, wouldn't it?
Ooh, fun fact, I think the King Power is the only away stadium Sonia Bompasa has not won at.
That's a stat, that is.
That's
a stat.
She's only been there, only been there once.
Once, yeah, it was a draw in 24
I remember it
December.
fondly because it happened on my birthday.
Oh, how wonderful.
I think if Leicester could get a draw with Chelsea now, that would be like all their Christmases will come at once. I think that would be what
I think they should focus on the playoff.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
First on playoff.
I'm sure you do want that.
Let Sam Kerr score a goal and then we'll take it.
1-1 draw, Sam Kerr scores.
Yeah.
Listen, Matthew, we're playing Manchester United at the end of the season. Sam Kerr is definitely scoring a goal there. There's no doubt about that.
True.
Very, very true. Chris has put predictions in the chat. Thanks, Chris. 3-2 to Brighton. Did it to City. Why not United? London City beating Spurs. Interesting, 2-1. City 3-1 Liverpool. Chelsea 6-0. Villa 2. I'll take 2-1 over West Ham. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll take that.
Villa against West Ham, Claret and Blue Derby.
Yes. The Claret and Blue Derby. Yes. It's always weird when a team shares the same colours because then there's no obvious rivalry. Then if people are all wearing scarves, it's like, oh well, we're all the same.
It's a great way for confusing former prime ministers, of course, as well. But the one
politics out of sports.
Keep politics out of football or something.
Something along those lines.
But yes, if Manchester United lose or fail to win, then Arsenal can seal UWCL qualification on Wednesday night.
Oh, yes, of course.
I hope someone asked Mark Skinner about that on Saturday afternoon.
If they're allowed, of course.
I think United get a win. It's at home. I feel like they do okay at LSV, so
There
I feel
needs
like
to
they
be
somehow.
there needs to be a
scrapped.
response from the goalless draw Spurs that should have
Absolutely,
lost.
yeah.
You'd hope so. You'd really
No
hope
Mark
so.
Skinner, they'll probably be not.
Set up defensively. Everyone's out of position. No one knows what to do. They should respond, and if they've got the ambition of getting Champions League again, then they will. However, as we saw, if Spurs are going to push them to that kind of stalemate that we saw, I think Brighton can have a good go at doing the same thing.
Of course, Mark Skinner has the master plan of taking one of the best young strikers in Europe and playing her at right wing.
Exactly, that is his superpower. Yeah, in these situations. Very good. Right then.
Didn't she say that she was scammed into signing for United? She was told she'd be playing as a striker, but suddenly she's being made to play on the wing. We're talking about Wangerheim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure I read something, and I can't remember where it was, so I hope it wasn't a dream and I'm not making this up, but I think she was told that she might be asked to play on the wing as well. And it was like that's a possibility. And that's, would you...
But we're signing you as a striker.
Yeah,
Ellen, honestly.
exactly the kind of clarity you need when you signing a contract.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you'll play on the wing, maybe striker.
You'll be on the pitch. That's it.
Maybe.
That's all the clarity we'll give you. You'll be on the pitch at some point.
Ellen, you look quite tall.
Who's
Have you
your
ever
boss?
played centre back?
Yeah. But yeah, just, hey, we'll see. Maybe one day he'll actually put her up front. That might be quite nice, wouldn't it? In her rightful position.
After she's learned the WSL,
Oh, well, yes, because it takes a good couple of seasons.
It takes a good couple of seasons to learn how to play up front in the WSL because it's so different to anywhere else.
And before the 2 seasons are up, you'll ship them off to the NWSL.
Yeah.
It's sad that he's become a meme at this point, isn't it?
Oh dear, he just, I just don't understand it. I don't, and the people
He's
around.
He's going to get sacked. Do you think he's getting sacked?
No, which is the frustrating part of it, because Ineos couldn't care less.
That man has worked his way. He's crawled so far up Ineos's backside. He tastes their breakfast for them. Like,
But
honestly,
it's got to a point though. They'll have said, well, one, they don't care enough to sack him, but two, they've gone, oh, you got to Champions League, you won an FA Cup. Oh, you're doing all right.
you're doing all right. That's you for the next 3
But
years.
no Champions League is a problem, right? For next season. I mean, I'm sure like every United fan sees that as a failure. No silverware, no Champions League. You've got nothing to show for it.
I think Mark Skinner is a fantastic manager of people above him. Don't you dare clip that up, Sam.
Sam,
I can just see that one being posted. Shocking thing.
I thought Paul was abducted. That's what I'm looking for. That's a secret message to the world.
I'm about to say, Paul, blink twice if you're okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mark Skinner is very much like James Woods in Family Guy. He just returns, he just comes back every time, and every time when he gets dealt with, like Peter says, he's dealt with by top men. He just comes back all the time.
Yes, it's like But what I mean is, he strikes me as someone who's very good at managing the people above him, so that he always looks good. And adjusting expectations and stuff, and saying, and finding reasons for why what has happened is exactly what was going to happen and is the best possible thing. He's an excellent kind of middle manager who's very good at saying things, getting in with the right people. Unfortunately, he's just not very good at football teams.
And we said it with like Martin Hall and like the backroom staff that have gone to join him at Spurs as well. That it was very much the backroom staff that got there. And Reaper's popping up again in the chat. Reaper, I've already talked about it, mate. I told you it was in the news.
We've decided she's going to Liverpool.
Yeah, we wanted to sign for Liverpool. That's the kind of thing. But Reaper, as the only United fan in the chat, tell us your thoughts as well. Do you think he will ever get sacked, or are you a Skinner fan? If you are, you might not do well here.
As a football fan, I'm really curious to see what that squad looks like with a capable manager.
I'm gonna get changed my PJs actually.
Somebody.
Matt, your mic's still on.
Matt, don't worry.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm really curious to see, because that's a very talented squad, the United squad, and I just feel like
You just feel like it.
It's happened to all of us. It's fine.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. But yes, but they have, haven't they? They've got such a talented squad. And it's depressing to see that.
It is. I mean, you look at young players like Wangerheim. I mean, and just like generally, you just need a couple of more players to boost that squad, and maybe get rid of a few older players. Like for example, I think moving Galton on is not a bad idea. And it's just maybe a couple of more midfielders. I just think there is a lot that the squad can do, because I think they have two elite fullbacks. They need another centre back, just a couple of positions here and there, and they're good to go. And I'm sure they'll do that business in the summer. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what that squad can do with a manager who knows what to do with them, somebody who just trusts them. Because the thing that annoys me about Mark Skinner is like his way of playing football is so passive. It's almost like he doesn't trust his team to be aggressive, to play a certain front-footed style of football. Whereas you look at the squad and you see the talent there, and you feel like, you know what, if you just set them up differently, it'll actually get the better out of them. And it's just, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we've talked about that lack of creativity, haven't we? And just kind of that lack of personality to kind of go and kind of be themselves on the pitch. Because we saw that, like Jess Park, what she's been able to do, and you just think that there needs to be more of that. And just like, it's
The trouble is, Mark Skinner's so risk averse, he wears a seatbelt on the sofa. Like,
oh, that's funny. Yeah, but that's what we're saying, Reaper. Like, it's a moment of they are investing, but it's what are they actually getting out of it if the style of player isn't going to change, where they're not then pushed. As much as I'd love to see Casey Stoney back, I can't see it going back at the moment anyway. But I just think the job with Canada, plus if you know the owners aren't going to back you, there's only so many fights you can kind of get involved in, because we all know what she did the first time around as well. So yeah, I mean, they need someone like Casey Stoney to come back.
I think they will actively struggle to recruit a league manager after Skinner.
Yes,
because all the managers who are most savvy, who could do the best job with that squad, like Kai says, will look at.
They won't want to touch it, will they?
And they'll be like, "Yeah, no thanks."
Yeah,
because it is a high pressure job as well. Like, you have the United brand. People, I sometimes feel like even the fans forget that they haven't been in the WSL for a long time. And
well, it's still a new club, Kai.
Yeah, I mean, like Skinner doesn't get to say that as an excuse, but yeah, I mean, it's just a crazy high pressure job, because you're always going to be in the limelight,
Unless you restrict it.
Yes, turn the lights off.
Switch the lights off.
Yep.
I was going to say, Reef's just there. I did hear a report going around where the Injustice Party was looking into invest in the women's team, but Ineos literally blocked them at every turn.
It's interesting that hasn't been reported.
Funny that. Yeah, interesting. Just to kind of say as well, Chris has just put this. There's going to be a live stream for the playoff between Plymouth and Wolves on the WSLT YouTube channel. That's interesting. Wolves said they were going to stream it on their website as well. And actually, what I was going to do, sneak preview for everyone watching, because the Villa game's also on at 1:00. I was going to do a live watch along on Monday as well, with it being bank holiday, so we can get that promotion race and a bit of Villa need time too, right? So if anyone, yes, Star Wars Day, it's going to be there. A fantastic battle of the two. So yes, keep your eyes peeled. All the details will be out on socials there. Right then, lovely. I think then, Kai, should we get you to bed?
Yes.
Yes.
Time for me to go.
We appreciate you as always. Thank you so much for your insight. Lovely to see you again.
Yeah, so nice to be back. I've actually missed being on the pod.
We've missed you, yeah. But yes, have a good sleep, and we'll see you
Good
soon.
night, guys. Have a good
Night.
night.
Bye.
Bye. Right then, shall we talk about the best league in the world?
Let's talk about the best league in the world.
Yay.
Let's race through the games that, in inverted commas, didn't mean much.
Yes, let's, because what this weekend actually did, if you're not a fan of the TSL2, you should be if you watch this show. We talked about it enough. But essentially, what then happened with, as we can see, third one down, Ipswich Town won 3-0 over Birmingham City. So what that essentially did, I think, again, if I remember rightly, Birmingham could have essentially clinched security that they were going to go up if that had been a win. Because, of course, the Charlton one, which we will talk about. Sorry, Graham. Again, we're gonna do it justice. Don't worry. But yeah, that was an absolute wild one. Birmingham City versus Ipswich. Because I turned it on and I was like, eh?
Is it the wrong way round?
Yeah, because the goals happened. Was it in like 15 minutes?
15 minutes.
Like,
Former Spurs player who is now been announced as leaving today, Kit Graham, with 2.
Kit Graham, yes. Do you reckon she'll sign for Ipswich?
I think if Ipswich come up, if Ipswich staying up now, I think there's a good chance of that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then keep her.
I think there will certainly be a heavy push.
Yes.
And her 2 goals in the first 15 minutes sandwiched a goal, and I'm going to get this right. Princess Ademiluyi, scoring after 13 minutes. Now, Princess Ademiluyi is an impressive presence.
Yes.
Like she just looks intimidating. Like she has
so strong as well. Like the way she drives forward.
She has an excellent no nonsense air about the way she plays. And
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's very much, I'm going this way. If you get in my way, so what? Like, I'm taking you with us. But yeah, I agree. Because Durham had the early kickoff, and we all said Durham don't need a win, essentially, don't they? We kind of knew Portsmouth were probably gonna be the ones to go, but still, that was so tight at the bottom, wasn't it? And like Chris said there, fantastic result for Durham. They really needed that, and they did. Some super goals in there. But yeah, so when the Birmingham City game came on, and we thought, Ipswich, they are getting better. They're finding their rhythm. You know, they're coming into this new lease of life. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be 3-0. Or if it was going to be 3-0, I thought Birmingham City in the second half would go, right, that was awful. Let's go for it. And as much as Ipswich then didn't score in the second half, it again wasn't for lack of trying, was it? So yeah, what do you reckon happened, Paul, with that one?
I think Ipswich, someone in that Ipswich changing room found the best pre-game team talk of all time. And also possibly Birmingham City had one eye on the final day of the season.
Maybe underestimated them a little bit.
And like you say, underestimated Ipswich a bit and thought, we are expected to win this one. Because there were 3,300 people there, according to the official attendance of it. Again, it's something else that's not really mentioned, but like you say, Graham saying Birmingham saying it's easy to chase than be chased.
Yeah, I quite like that.
And Charlton have proven that at times this season as well. And with the constant switching back and forth, and the crucial thing here is looking at the table. During the season, we were a bit critical of Charlton at not being able to put games away and going behind and getting draws.
Yeah,
those 4 points are why Charlton are 1 point above, because if you look at it, Birmingham have won one more game, but that 1 point is because Charlton have drawn 6 to Birmingham City's 2. Charlton are better at not losing.
Yes.
Even if Birmingham have won more games,
You
Charlton are
need to
better at not losing, which is what you need to be.
Yeah.
Because Birmingham have won 13 but lost 6, which is more than their 2 title rivals.
And that's literally all it is. Night, Chris. Thank you. Yeah, it's because Graham said that my worry is also Birmingham will finish third in a 2-horse race. Yeah, I've seen a few Birmingham fans been like, "Oh, I really hope we don't bottle it. We've got this far. Let's not do it." But the top 3 now are going to be that top 3. It's just in whichever order, isn't it? We don't know how it's going to finish.
And this is why we were saying those top 3 teams could all do Leicester.
Yes. Yeah, I think.
I do want to say though, this whole obviously WSL 2 season obviously comes all the way down to the final day. Do you think it's ever been like as close as it has currently in WSL 2 that has been in other seasons? Because to me, like, if probably you had a community tournament between Birmingham, Charlton, and Palace, I feel as though like all teams would probably still be on the same points because they're all kind of like so evenly matched.
Well, it was just the especially the mid part of the season, wasn't it, Paul, where anyone down to 7th, I think, could still win.
Yeah.
It was just like, what?
There is. We said this a bit last year, and it's been more noticeable this year.
Yeah.
Our argument as a group, and all of us, because Matt, you've said this as well, when we've talked about it, is that only having one promotion place, as happened last year, where only the champions went up, is utterly ridiculous because of the amount of really good teams that don't go up. And if anything, this is now the situation that we should have every year. We should have a situation where 2 come down from WSL and 3rd in WSL 2 plays 3rd from bottom in the WSL.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Because the interest in this, and again, unfortunately, it's been spoken about less than it should be. But Tom Gary, who admittedly has a bit of skin in the game because he's a Birmingham City fan, has talked about the WSL 2, but other people have. I'm sure Catherine Pratt was talking about it last season. Emma Sanders did a BBC thing where it was we spent a bit of time with each of the teams vying for promotion. And it's a good thing because more and more people are paying. It has felt in the past sometimes like we're here shouting about it and no one else is. And now other people are starting to pick it up and we're like, oh, you've noticed, have you?
We've only been sitting here for a couple of years doing the good work, spreading the good word. That's what I was trying to get out. So obviously huge shock there with Ipswich winning 3-0 at Birmingham. Crystal Palace, of course, getting an important win over my beloved Sunderland. However, Katie Watson, lovely goal, lovely bit of play at the start of the second half to get the goal for Sunderland. So at least it wasn't a clean sheet for Palace. The least we could do, not stop them getting a clean sheet. Forest, of course, winning against Portsmouth to secure Portsmouth's relegation. Bristol 2-1 Newcastle. Again, nothing much in there, but Newcastle took the lead through Lumsden. But the Robins equalised at the end of the first half. And then Jessie Gale's goal in the 99th minute to seal that victory there. But yeah, let's get on to Southampton Charlton, shall we? Because for 2 minutes, Graham was a very, very happy man. And unfortunately, Atlanta Primus got in the way. So yeah, it was a strange one because so Graham said, we started the day at second, At kickoff, we were third, and by full time, we were first. So it went all over the shop. But that's how much is changing. Literally in game, things are going that way. But yes, so Southampton 2, Charlton 2. Simpson, 26th minute for Southampton, gets the opener. It then takes until Gillian Kenny, who I believe came on as a sub, 70th minute to get the equaliser. Emma Bissell then gets a penalty in the 92nd minute. Of course, you'd think that's the winner. No. Atlanta Primus in the 94th minute gets the equaliser again for Southampton, and it finishes 2-2. It's just, it was a mad second half, wasn't it? Just the chaos, especially those last 15, 20 minutes. Did either of you catch this one?
I did actually see the result, and I thought, honestly, like, it was a really, actually, I was being offshore. Graham was thinking, oh my God, we're going top, we're getting promoted to OSL, and then probably that goal by Atlanta Primus probably hitting like a ton of bricks. But I still think it's a promising draw for Charlton, because a look at the table, it does put Charlton very much destiny in their own hands. All they got to do is try to not lose against Birmingham, and I think they're guaranteed at least second.
Well, yeah. So the way the points are, so Charlton on 42, Birmingham City 41, Crystal Palace 41. So it's literally a point in it. So it literally does come down to the final day. So yeah, let's do this really quickly, because everyone wants to get to bed. So that's currently how it looks. Crystal Palace in the playoff place. So final day fixtures then. Final day. All eyes will be on Charlton, Birmingham City, the final showdown at the Valley. Of course, all games kicking off at 3. But yeah, so Crystal Palace have got Portsmouth, arguably the easier, theoretically, of the two, with Charlton, Birmingham, of course, going head to head. So Birmingham last season had London City, didn't they? And that was a single point. So they're going to be hoping this time that is not a single point that drops them out of that automatic promotion as well.
Charlton are in the strongest position, as Graham says, because a draw will send them up, and a win will guarantee they're champions.
Yeah, I mean,
Birmingham City
be a good feeling.
Birmingham City and Palace both have to win.
Yes,
it's that simple. Birmingham City have to win, and Palace have to win, and hope Birmingham City don't.
Yes.
If the goal difference is correct, I believe it is.
I think a lot of pressure is on Palace, because looking at the table, I believe Birmingham have what, plus 20 goal difference?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Birmingham City beat
Yeah.
Charlton, though, Palace only need a draw because of goal difference.
Oh.
So literally, Palace could win or draw and still go up automatically, depending on the Charlton Birmingham City game. It all hinges on that Charlton Birmingham City game.
Yeah.
If 2 out of 3 teams win, they're the ones that are up.
Literally on goal score. What should be like 0-0 until like the final minute of added time, and then Jodie Hutton gets a last minute screamer. I think we'd all pass out. I don't think we'd be able to go watching that.
I think we're in a position where Palace are going to win. I think
it should, yeah.
So
imagine if Portsmouth score first against Palace, and then Charlton and Birmingham find out, and they just play. When you get a game in the World Cup where both teams go through from a group, they just play the boringest 0-0.
I don't.
I think it's too much.
Either of those two,
too much pride on the line. Yeah, they're gonna fight for it, and it's gonna be fantastic to watch. I know, but to experience it like that, Graham, would much rather that than it be a boring one. It's not going to be boring. It's going to be a fantastic end to the season.
All I'm saying, Graham, as someone who saw his team win a title after thinking that he'd have to wait another week, and then, you know, going from the "oh Christ, it's not going to happen" to "yes, it is." You'll thank me if it happens that way.
Yes.
Once you come down.
Yeah, Graham saying, spoke to a few players after the game last week. They're all, we want to win the league. Good, as they should, as is rightly deserved. So literally anything can happen on Saturday, as there's only a point between the top 3 teams, but at least all 3 do have that chance at promotion. One isn't going to be cruelly taken away with that playoff spot, of course. Now, so just a reminder, we will be going live on Saturday. We're going to start with the Arsenal Champions League game. So about 1:45 probably we'll be going live. And then we've got the final day of the season at 3:00. And then again, we'll be watching them right through with live reactions to who will be joining the WSL next season, and we cannot wait. Now then, we were going to talk about the Women's National League, but what I'm going to do instead, I've already kind of prepped the slides and things, so I'll put a little video out on TikTok for that. So people who are interested, do head over. I think I'm T for T writes it there as well. Or the whole 115 yards, which is the other channel I contribute to. I say contribute on, or it'll be on there somewhere. And we'll go through who's been promoted, who's been relegated. And like I said, with Gwali United, I will just say this really quickly. Them and AFC Wimbledon were on the same amount of points, same goal difference. So it went down to goals scored. And that's what decided the relegation spot. So absolutely heartbreaking for Gwali right on the final day of the season there. But yes, we do have, I will let everyone know. So Saturday, there is a playoff. Let's have a look. I do have it. Hang on 2 seconds. It's just loading. So we've got playoffs on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as well. So actually the live watch along on Monday that I mentioned. Of course, we said it's going to be the Wolves and the Villa game as well.
And we'll catch up with everything else.
And just, keep everything on in the background. Right. Is that loading? Is it not? Yes, it is. Haha. Right. I had fun doing these. So we've got our season champions. Again, I'll go through all these in detail. We've got our relegated teams, unfortunately, in tiers 3 and 4 as well. So this is what the playoffs look like. So on Saturday, you have got Boldmere St Michael's versus Cheadletown Stingers. And then on Sunday, you've got Norwich versus Moneyfields, which I think is going to be a really, really good game as well. Well, they all are. So 2 playoffs from tier 4 to get promoted to tier 3. And then, of course, we've got the Wolves-Plymouth match on Monday at 1:00 to hopefully join Burnley and Watford in the WSL2 next season. So I'll do a little video dissecting all of that. Because then it will let everyone go to bed this evening. But we've gone through so much this evening. So thank you to everyone in the chat who's contributed, everyone watching, everyone listening. We do really, really appreciate you. You can, if you want to get your podcast mug, there was a QR code earlier on in the stream, and I'll just put it on quickly there now, just in case you want to have a little look before the show is over. They're very good quality. Graham will attest for those. And I'll be getting mine very soon as well. So promote the show as we go. But massive thank you to Kai, who was with us for the first portion. Huge thank you to Matt and Paul as well. Thank you both. Lovely to see you both. And of course, a huge weekend of football as well coming up. So by the end of this weekend, we're going to know WSL2 champions, who's been promoted, who's going to be in the playoff. We'll also know who's going to be in the Champions League final. which is incredibly exciting. And we're one step closer to the end of the WSL season as well. So it is crunch time. And who knows, we might have more players leaving their clubs in the next week or so as well. But yeah, once again, we'll say a huge thank you. And we'll see you again at 8:30-ish next Wednesday too. Good evening. Bye.